Sound production.
Recording in progress. Recording stopped.
Sound production.
What's going on, family? What's going on, guys? Welcome to today's session with your boy Abel. Super excited to be here with every single one of you guys this morning. Hope you guys are all having a phenomenal morning, family. As you guys are tuning in, go ahead and drop those locations in the Chizzy chat, because we are live and we are back with the start of another new week. Let me go ahead and I want to zoom in my face real quick. You guys got to see me today. There we go. What's going on, family? Hope you guys are all having a phenomenal morning, like I just said. How are you guys feeling in the chat? How are you guys feeling in the chat today, family? How you guys feeling? You guys feeling good? You guys feeling great? Talk to me. Because I could tell it's going to be a phenomenal trading week this week. No matter what your actual results end up being, you're still going to learn a shit ton this week, right? You're going to gain a lot of knowledge this week. And you're probably going to learn a lot of patience this week, family, because going into the end of the year, going into being in the last month of the year, this is where things get extremely choppy, right? So if I can give you guys some advice, right? Can I give you guys some advice today, family? Right? Let me know in the chat, right? Drop a yes in the chat if I can give you guys a little bit of advice, trading in the month of December. All right? Because trading in the month of December is completely different than, say, trading in the beginning of the new year, right? It's completely different environments. Completely different spending habits, completely different fundamental datas, news events, news triggers. All right, so let me know. You guys give me permission to give you a little bit of advice, a little bit of a tip to start off today's session, family. I got my coffee. Well, not even coffee, but is a frappe coffee? I got a caramel ribbon crunch, family. Is this coffee or nah? Because I'm not even a fan of coffee, but this be waking me up. Let me see. On my second cup of coffee. Let's go, Jay. All right, so we got Nigeria. We got New York in the building. Oklahoma City. Rico. What's good, Rico? Good to see you. We got Colombo, Sri Lanka. How are you doing, Shintaka? Good to see you. Brother Joseph in the building from Sacktown. We got the Bahamas, Colorado, Brooklyn in the building. What's going on, Margarita? All right, let's see. All right, perfect. You guys do give me your permission. Perfect. Right, so my permission, or not my permission, right, but my advice for you guys in the month of December, all right, especially since this month is probably going to be a very choppy month overall. It's probably best, guys, just to find and try to take advantage of a lot of more short-term plays, a lot of more short-term opportunities, a lot of more scalps, a lot of more intraday setups. All right, that's what I've been doing, right? I haven't been holding, trades, and I don't plan on really swing trading, positions in the month of December, all right? And not even just because of the month itself, guys, but there's also a lot of uncertainty in this space from a fundamental perspective, right? From a sentiment perspective, there's a lot of indecision still in the marketplace, right? And because of those indecisions, we're going to see a lot of swings in the market, right? We're going to see, swing highs turn to swing lows, but then those swing lows get ran only for it to come back and create a new high. There's just a lot of craziness, guys, that you can expect in the month of December. And it could be for various different reasons, right? But that's what I would recommend to you guys, right? More so, be happy about that 15, 20, 30 pip scalp, all right? Be happy about that 50 pip, to 100 pip intraday opportunity, right? And stop trying to hit for the home runs, right? I know we have a part of my team here. We got some people that are superstar swing traders, you could say, right? That are going to hold no matter what. But if you don't have the mental capacity, if you don't have the discipline, if you don't have the patience, guys, then holding trades is actually a skill in itself, right? So again, be happy with those short-term trades, right? Be satisfied with those short-term opportunities, right? Especially if they're playing out. And be a lot more okay with rolling your stops to break even as soon as you can, right? Once you see a short-term break of structure or internal break of structure, it's time to roll them stops, baby, because again, the market is extremely unpredictable, guys, going into this end of this year, right? So that's just my advice, right? We're gonna be playing a lot of short-term opportunities, a lot of short-term setups, things like that, guys, for sure, to see if the market can give us a potential opportunity, potential play. All right, so that's where we're at. A quick little rundown on that. But let's go ahead and see what else we got. Let's take a look at the calendar real quick. Make sure we don't got nothing on the calendar for this morning, or if we do, at least we're aware of it. It is just me this morning, by the way, family. For as of right now, it's only me. All right, I'm pretty sure the rest of the guys will eventually end up jumping on. All right, but you guys got me this morning. All right, how you guys feeling about that? I know you guys are excited about that. Shit, I'm excited to be here with y'all too. All right, shout out to that boy Eric, man. Always in the chats. Always in the chat, dropping gems, dropping value. I appreciate you. It has coffee in it, silly opera. Shout out to that boy Mark, man. I appreciate you, Mark, for being in the chat as well. Yes, it has coffee in it. I figured it did. All right, I figured it did. All right, I see GJ entry at that liquidity pocket between that lower low and higher low. Yes, sir. All right, so that's what I was looking for here. All right, and we're going to get into GJ. Actually, we got to keep our eye on GJ right now because this thing is pretty much already looking to start to set up. All right, so we'll go ahead and take a quick look at GJ, see what has been happening overall, guys, see what the market has given us. Right, and I want to start off with the higher time frame, right, bigger perspective, just to see what has happened over the past couple days, over the past, 4, 8, 12, 16 hours, just to see if we can come up with some type of a bias, guys, right? So looking here on GJ, we did end up having the market come by, guys, and end up creating a higher low, right? And I want you guys to take a look at this, right? Because this right here can give you a completely different perspective, or not even, right? But it can help your bias out when you're looking at GJ, right? So if we look at structure here, guys, what really happened? The market ended up creating this high, right? We ended up creating this low. We ended up running that low, and we bounced back up. Now we're creating, these higher low sequences. We also did just have a nice bullish engulfing as well right out of this higher low, right? So is it possible for price to actually go ahead and continue higher here for GJ? What do you guys think, family? Do you guys think GJ is bullish? Do you guys think GJ is bearish? What do you guys think about this one right here? Right, because me personally, if you're asking me that question, I think we could honestly see more upside here for GJ. Right, I think we could see more upside here for GJ, right? I believe we have, a lot of liquidity that's going to be positioned above these highs right here, right, that we could potentially go ahead and target. Okay, so I'm talking about seeing GJ up around that 169 level, right? I would love to see GJ come and run that 169 level, right? And yeah, and ultimately come in, smash, all this buy side liquidity, right? Whenever you guys see this BSL for me, right? Again, there's very different terminology people are going to utilize, right? But BSL stands for buy side liquidity, right? It's just me telling you guys that there's possible liquidity above this level that we have to be aware of. Okay, so that's where I'm looking at, guys. I think that there is a good chance for us to, see this thing go ahead and rebound. As long as we're continuously creating these, higher lows, higher lows, higher lows, then I think we do have some upside to go. I mean, the overall trend, guys, has been this entire year easily. I mean, for the past 2 years, right? Since 2020, right? March of 2020, we have been bullish. You know, so I don't want to go against the overall flow. So I'm still very much bullish here, right? So that's just that real quick. Now let's go ahead and break this down a little bit more. All right, so for me, guys, I would be very interested in looking for some plays, probably somewhere below the, and this is gonna again go against what our smaller time frame is showing us, right? Because our smaller time frame, guys, this thing is looking like it's ready to go ahead and reverse right now. All right, like this thing looks like it's ready to go ahead and go bullish like right now, right? Like right from these areas, right? And it is very possible, right? Now let me show you guys why. Because for me, on the bigger time frame, I would love to see price make its way down to here. Right, to where these wicks are, where we had a lot of demand pickup. I would love to see price come back down to this key level of structure, right, which we're not there just yet. But on a smaller time frame, we are starting to see the market shift a little bit. Now, that's not to say that the market is ultimately going to go ahead and just start, you know, flying, but it is starting to shift a little bit. Okay. Now, is this short-term structure that we're seeing here, guys, enough to actually send us back bullish? Or is this more so just building up more liquidity to then go ahead and get us that push lower to then eventually go ahead and give us that move higher? What do you guys think, right? Because, again, I know what most people are looking at right now. You guys are probably looking at, but Abel, bro, you know, we had this nice little downtrend. We've seen a nice, big, strong shift, you know, out of that trend. And now we're seeing the market come back down, and now we're seeing sort of like a little inverted head and shoulder here on these smaller time frames, right? I get it, all right. Trust me, I was considering taking some trades too from here, right? And it still might happen, right? You never know. But right, and this is a big but. The reason why I'm still a little cautious, right, is because, like I said, we still have so much liquidity to the downside, in my opinion. All right, like this whole area right here, this whole level of support, in my opinion, right, is an entire area of liquidity that I think we still need to grab before we see this thing absolutely fly, right? Now, the market does a couple things, though, guys, right, that I want us to be aware of. All right, when the market is going sideways like this, right, when it's going sideways like this and it's accumulating orders, all right, that's exactly what's happening. It's accumulating orders. But one thing that we have to understand, guys, that when the market is in a range-bound market, right, when it's consolidating, aka consolidating, what a lot of you know retail traders like to say, what's really happened, guys, is we're building up liquidity. Right, we're building up liquidity right here, right? Anytime the market is going sideways, it is building up liquidity, right, for it to go either to the upside or is building up liquidity for it to go to the downside, right? Either or. But what's happening is we are building up liquidity. Now, the next thing, guys, that the market typically likes to do, right, once we actually start to build up liquidity and we have enough liquidity built up, this is usually when we see some stuff like those liquidity grabs, right? This is where we can see things like, you know, this market, guys, do something like this, right, where we know we have liquidity above here, right, where the market might want to go ahead and run this little high, go ahead and bring us back low, capture liquidity from both aspects, to then eventually go ahead and go in the actual trend, right? Again, the market builds up liquidity, all right? It's either building liquidity, the moves, or it's capturing liquidity. Remember that, right? The market is either building, I mean, it's doing both, honestly, right? The market is building liquidity, but it's also capturing liquidity, especially if you want to catch a nice big swing trading type of move. If you want to catch a big boy move, then you have to expect the latter to happen, right? The, you know, grab of liquidity to occur, right? So this is not something I would be surprised about, guys, right? If we did something like this, especially since we're on a smaller time frame, like all this could happen, you know, today, right? Where we see the run on liquidity up to the upside, you know, stop everybody out. That's pretty much trying to sell from up here. Let me go ahead and mark this off as well. We have some buy side liquidity. All right, stop us out up here. You know, I think above that 166.7 is where we really see, you know, demand start to fall, right? But then it's going to bring us into that range, into that area that I'm very much interested in. All right, so yeah, we're going to see how this plays out, you know, because again, I do see it. I do see what you're talking about, Eric. I was going to call you Abel. I do see what you're talking about, Eric. That's crazy. Talking in third person is crazy, right? But I do see what you're talking about, right? You know, with this short-term, you know, play right here. And it is possible to play out, right? You know, like I said, I do think that there is a chance for us to actually go ahead and make our way higher. It's just this is not a play that I would personally want to ride for to the moon, right? I mean, you could, right? You could. So, hypothetically speaking, for anybody that is going to be a beast and end up taking this type of opportunity right here, all right, it could look something like this. Beautiful thing about this setup that it is going to be, for the most part, a good risk to reward, depending on where you enter and depending on where you put your stop loss at. Right, but this is something that's not bad. Now again, this is a very smaller time frame, right? We're on a 2-minute time frame, which the 2-minute time frame, guys, is slowly becoming one of my favorite time frames to really look for entries from, right? And not just entries, but look for entire setups, smaller term scalps, smaller term intraday opportunities, right? You know, these smaller time frames are definitely phenomenal for that, right? But if you were to take this trade, if you thought it looked nice, you know, we did have a nice strong move to the upside, and then we just got into this corrective phase, right? If you are going to take this trade, you know, just be mindful. You know, once we get above this 166, you want to make sure that you're protecting yourself. You want to roll your stops to break even, you know, close some partials, because once we get up here, again, in my opinion, we actually find a lack of demand right up here, and it brings us right back down low, right? I mean, it's something that I'm going to be waiting for, seeing what the market gives us. Again, we do have, I'm going to be with you guys here, guys, for the next couple hours, right? So it literally could play out that way as well, but we're going to be patient, right? We're going to be patient. We're going to see what the market gives us, and yeah, we'll take advantage of it when the time comes. But as of right now, for me personally, GJ is still not in that major area that I'm truly interested in. Right, I want to see GJ come below this 166. If we could see a swipe of the 166, that's when I'm very much going to be looking for some long opportunities here on GJ. Right, so that's what I'm playing. That's what I'm gonna be looking for. If you wanted to play these short-term scalps, I mean, by all means, these are, you know, 30-40 pip moves, right? Like for right here, again, I know it might go against, you know, somebody's bias, but what if this market just drops from right here 40 pips? All right, it is possible. All right, let's actually go lower time frame, see what's happening here on these smaller time frames. See, like right here on this 1-minute time frame, guys, right? Like, this is not a bad opportunity to potentially take, you know, a nice little intraday short-term scalping type of setup, right? Especially if the risk to reward is there. I mean, this is the 1-minute time frame, right? But just look at structure. Look at structure, right? We seen the market come up. We had this nice high created. We created another high, spiked above the high, and then we seen the immediate reaction to the downside, pulled back, and now we're starting to go. All right, so this could also lead to lower, and this is why, again, I'm personally not going to be looking for that buy situation we were talking about. And if anything, yeah, I'll be looking for more, you know, I'm just going to be patient with this one, right? I'm going to be patient, guys, because I really want to see price get down into that 166 level, right? So whatever happens up until then, I mean, a bunch of things can happen, right? But until we get there, until we get below this 166, that's what I'm chilling for, right? I'm gonna be sitting on the sidelines. I really want to see price make its way down here. I think that's gonna really give us a phenomenal opportunity to go ahead and get involved, a phenomenal risk to reward. All right, I think this could really be an absolute banger, because we're talking about, if we are able to get an entry on that 166, guys, now we're talking about clearing this high, right? That's 166.7. But I also think we can even go ahead and target all the way back, you know, up to around 167.4, even probably all the way back up to the ultimate highs up here, right, on the smaller time frame. And that's talking about a 6 to 7 to 1 risk to reward, right? So that's what I'm gonna be waiting for. I need to see price come down to here around this 166, and if it doesn't come down to here and it leaves without us, it is what it is. So be it, right? We're not gonna chase it. Yeah, you know, it is what it is. We'll let it play, right? But this is gonna be my play here, guys, on GJ. I'm very interested in looking for price to come down to this 166 to then eventually go ahead and send us back bullish to the upside, right? So we'll see if the market gives us that. If it does, amazing. If it doesn't, it's a part of the game. It is what it is. Right, but let's see what you guys are talking about in the chat. How you guys feeling in the chat, family, man? I don't know. You guys are a little bit quiet today, man. How's your guys' trading? How's your guys' holiday? How was Thanksgiving? Like, talk to me, man. Let's talk to me. Let's see. I got wrecked selling GJ. I'm switching my bias. Yeah, do what you gotta do. For sure. Let's see. USD CAD. Yeah, I could take a look at that, Michael. I got you. Give me a second. Let's see. I found that smart money concept the other day. That indicator is lit. Yeah, it's actually pretty good. I mean, there's a couple different smart money concept indicators that you can utilize. And again, the only reason why you really want to do it is just to, teach you how to identify structure, right? So I got two up here that are actually not that bad, right? I really like, this regular market structure one. Just because it marks off the swing highs, the swing lows, lower highs, lower lows, the change of characters, things like that, which the other one does as well, but the other one's a little bit more advanced, right? The other one does everything as well. It shows the base of structures, the equal lows, equal highs, the change of characters, right? It shows all that stuff. But it also shows, your range, right? And how you are in terms of your range, right? Like right here, it also shows that this is our low to our range. And this is our high to our range, right? And that this is a strong high, this is a weak low. It also tells you like if it's a weak or a strong high and a strong low, which is pretty cool. Now, this is good for traders that are, trying to get accustomed, to identifying the swings of the markets, right? This is good for people that are trying to really subconsciously learn how to identify these change of characters, these breaks of structures, right? These higher highs, these higher lows, these equal highs, equal lows, things like that. It's a very good tool for that, right? So if you're struggling, guys, with identifying structure, I mean, then I highly recommend to download this market structure one right here, right? This market structure one is probably gonna be the more easier one for you guys to identify. So yeah, that's the one that I'll go with. Market structure by Leviathan, whatever that means. All right, it's pretty good. All right, let's see. Possibly I'm seeing divergence so we can get a pop-up. Bullish flag, descending channel. Able cooking, not bad at all. How long do you hold small time frame trades? Right, that's a good question, right? It really doesn't come down. It's for me, it's not. I don't determine a time limit to how long I hold my trades. All right, if that makes sense, right? I don't hold it for a specific time limit. I hold it for as long as I need to. All right, it's either gonna hit my stop loss or it's gonna hit my take profit. Okay, so if it takes 5 minutes to go to stop loss or take profit, then I hold that trade for 5 minutes. If it takes an hour, right, even an intraday scalp, a small term setup, right, it could still take an hour to play out. So I'm in that trade for that hour, right? So I don't give it a time limit, right? I just allow market to do what it does, and I have patience to allow the market to play out the way it needs to. That was a good question, though, Christian. All right, my guy, shout out to that boy Devin in the building. My brother Devin, what's going on, bro? I appreciate you, my brother. All right, matter of fact, hold on, Devin. Hold on, Devin. Devin, are you by your computer by chance? Let me know if you're by your computer, bro. Let me know if you're by your computer and if you're by your Zoom. All right, let me know. Yeah, let me know if you're by your computer or by your Zoom, Devin, because we might have to get you on today. All right, let's see how you feel about EA sales at 1.568. Jude, shout out to that boy Jude in the building. All right, let's go take a look at EURAUD real quick, right? Let's see. 1.568. Sell from 1.568. Okay, you're trying to see a run of the highs? Because, I mean, we have a lot of just built. Look at this. Euro AUD looks disgusting. For the past month and a half to 2 months, we ain't do nothing. We did a whole lot of nothing. Like legit a whole lot of nothing, right? For the past 7-8 weeks. Literally 2 months of a whole lot of nothing. Right? I hope you get where I covered that, right? So yeah, I mean, we've done a whole lot of nothing so far. We already did end up seeing the market run these highs, and we got a very decent reaction out of the run of the highs. I want to see how structure is starting to build up over here on smaller time frames. Let's see. Do we have any protected highs? Not necessarily. And the only thing I'm considering now, right, is it possible for this to actually just drop right from these levels? Right? Is it possible for the market to actually say, nope, we already ran the high, right? We already captured liquidity over here. Is this enough liquidity for the market to shift from? Possibly. Shit. Why not? All right, we seen the market spike up and immediately shift back below. So I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised. And this is something that, again, I would not be surprised if we actually started to go lower right from these areas that we're at now. Let me go ahead and take a right the back one, right? The big gray. Like, I wouldn't be surprised. Now, how could we play this though, right? Because it doesn't look bad. You know, we are seeing, you know, aggressive sell. We creating like this little bearish flag pattern, you know, which could lead, you know, to lower pricing. All right, it could lead to lower pricing. You never know. It's very possible, right? Especially where we're at, you know, playing off of this structure level right here, created this high. You know, we broke back below it. That high could really hold. It's very possible for that high to hold. Now, let's go ahead and go to lower time frame even more, right? Because what I would need to see for it, though, right? What I would like to see, if I am interested in something like this, right? Because now, we're on a smaller time frame. The only thing that has my concern is this high up here, right? Because it's still very possible for, even before we go ahead and go lower, you know, for us to see something like this, right? So if we see something like that, I would be very comfortable with taking some shorts here for Euro AUD. Very comfortable, right? And I'm talking about, you know, just seeing, again, a sweep of this short-term high right here, the 1.565 level, right? You know, if we sweep that and then we close back below it, I'm all day selling right here on the second point. All day long, I'm selling on there. All right, and then we can go ahead and target, you know, swing low right here, right back down to these lows, and even possible, you know, back down to these lows, right? And again, keep in mind, guys, what I said on the higher time frame, right? Higher time frame, we have not done a damn thing. All right, every time we've come to this high, the market has reacted very, very bearish. We're at that high. All right, so if we are able to get a nice entry based off something like this, a sweep of this high right here, buy side liquidity right here, right, and then we rebound back low, I think that is going to be the start of a pretty interesting trade here for Euro AUD. All right, we're talking about, you know, something that could really send us all the way back down lower. It's very possible, right? Very, very possible. You know, so that's just my thoughts and opinion, right? I know I really didn't answer your question, right, Jude? Because you said you wanted to sell above 1.56, right? Well, yeah, you know, if this doesn't work out, right, like if this don't work out, then obviously we're going to have to see how we react above those highs, right? Because, I mean, we haven't really been above those levels since October, all right? So we'll have to see how it reacts up there, right? But for me, I'm very comfortable looking for some play like this. Very, very comfortable looking for an opportunity like this, right? Just getting that confirmation of the sweep of the highs and then the immediate rejection. That's what I want to see. That's the confirmation for me, right? A run of the highs and then immediately sucking back into the range. That's me. I'm doing that all day long. And if that doesn't work out, then yeah, we'll have to wait for, you know, obviously, you know, how the market reacts above these highs up here. All right, so that's not bad neither. All right, let's see what else we got here. Can you check gold? I'm currently in a sell, of course. Let's see let's see what we got here. See, gold is very interesting. All right, gold is very interesting in terms of how we just reacted from these highs up here. Right, we had a very strong bearish day yesterday. All right, is it possible for this to continue? I think it is. I think we do see more downside, personally speaking. I would love to see the market, guys, come and make its way towards this 1745 level, personally speaking. All right, so this will be like my target down here, right? Over here at the sell side liquidity down here at these lows. Now, the question is, though, where do we sell from? Right? Well, we have to identify our range, right? We have swing high to swing low, right? We have our extreme highs, we have our extreme lows. We don't really have, I mean, the middle point could be the 50% level. All right, let's just highlight that just because, right? So we have our midpoint as well. All right, I really would personally like to see this market, and again, it doesn't necessarily have to go higher, right? But just looking for some sells from right here although it is very possible and the market could very well go ahead and do that, I'm not interested in things like that, right? Because you're never going to get the best risk reward, playing at the discounted levels of your range, right? So I would personally love to see gold go ahead and make its way back up to the upside, and then from there go ahead and give us an opportunity to go ahead and go lower, right? That's my go-to. That's what I would prefer to see happen. It's not necessarily what needs to happen or what will happen. That's just what I would prefer to see happen. All right. I would love to see this market make its way back up first, and then from there go ahead and give us a nice reaction to the downside, right? So just getting us guys into more of a premium price level in terms of our range could be a good thing, right? Now, again, if you're already in a sell and you had logical reasons for it, by all means, do your thing. We did see a nice little a run of this high right here. And yeah, you could see, guys, some short-term selling off, at least back down to these lows. It's very possible. But even if that happens, like I said, I would be looking for something like this, right? Again, keep in mind, everything I'm looking at, guys, is smaller time frame, right? So we have to expect a lot more waves, right? A lot more ups and downs, a lot more higher highs and higher lows, because we are on such a smaller time frame right now, right? So, but this is not a bad play. I think for me, I would be very comfortable looking for some shorts anywhere above this 1790 level. I would start looking for opportunities to go short on to see, what happens. All right, let's see. 1780 entry. Again, if you are in this, just ride it out. Do your thing. All right. Like I said, it is very possible
Yo,
for
good
us to
morning,
make our
bro.
way
You
back
hear
down
me?
to these levels for sure. Let's see. Yeah, I can hear you. You can hear me?
Yeah, I wanted to jump in real quick only because I couldn't hear you on the Zoom, bro. So I wanted to just let you know I was here.
All right, perfect, perfect. Let's see what else we got here. What's going on, TJ? Good to see you in the chat. How you doing? How you doing? Feeling grateful. Market hubbled me this week, but we back in it. Let's go, Alex. Good to see it. Let's see. Thanksgiving was great until my nephew. I think what's crazy. I actually seen a report yesterday that there's been like a massive uptick in children being sick because of Thanksgiving. Right now, obviously, Thanksgiving was here, so everybody was traveling. Everybody was linking up with other family members, and even my kids too. Like my daughter was extremely, extremely sick yesterday. All right. Well, my son was sick 3 days ago. My oldest daughter was sick yesterday. All right. So it's like a massive sickness that's going around right now for sure for everybody. Right. So just yeah, it's not just you, Eric. Right. I think everybody's freaking getting sick for sure. Let's see. I think everybody don't talk because they be so focused on learning. But I was trying to see NAS100, see what we can make on that day. Yeah, we'll take a look at that for sure. All right, let's see. First 3,200 withdrawal. Let's go, family. Go ahead and drop some congratulations. Drop your favorite number, your favorite emoji. Drop something in the chat for that boy Devin. Got his first $3,200 payout from his funded account. Let's go, baby. Big congratulations to you, bro. Family, if you guys want to show him some love, all I ask is go ahead and just smash the like button. Right, we get to 100 likes. That shows Devin that we appreciate him, that we support him. We're sending our big congratulations. He deserves it. Just seeing where Devin has come from. Right, this is crazy, Devin. Right, because it's something that me and Skaz were talking about last night too, bro. Like we were talking about your journey, bro, and how far you have come, and how crazy it has been. Right, it's been an absolute blessing to be a part of your journey, to see you go from where you started, bro, to you actually getting that payout, especially knowing how long it's taking you to get there and how many times you've taken these funded accounts. It's amazing, bro. So big shout out to you, dog. I appreciate that, man. Family, go ahead and let's get this thing to 100 likes, man. Show Devin some love, man. Let's go ahead and show Devin some love. Hold on, we're gonna get Devin on the stream this morning. Hold on, cause this is massive. We gotta get Devin on the stream real quick. Hold on. And in the meantime, as I go ahead and send all this stuff to that boy Devin, we do got the boy Skaggs with us this morning as well, right? Shout out to my brother Skaggs, bro. How you feeling this morning, bro? I know you. Everybody was a little late waking up this morning, but how are you feeling, bro? You feeling good? You feeling phenomenal?
I'm feeling tired, bro. Yeah, fam. Listen, I didn't even get to bed till like I don't know what it was, like 4:45, 5 a.m. almost.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I had no alarm set. I just woke up a little bit ago. Like I literally, you know, like I have been up less than 15 minutes. So yeah, bear with me. But I am here. Feeling good otherwise, a little exhausted. I was working on some website stuff all night. I wasn't feeling too good yesterday, so I kind of slept all day and was up all night. So, but nonetheless, I'm here with y'all. I was actually, because I couldn't sleep last night, I was doing a little bit of London trading, so I am in some GJ shorts. You guys know we were looking at GJ shorts this week. So I could, if you make me co-host for, I could hijack screen for a second, kind of go over that.
Of course.
And we could also take a look at some like NASDAQ and stuff. I don't know, the stuff that Abel hasn't went over yet that you guys know I trade. First off, I see the chat's absolutely blowing up for Devin, so shout out to that boy. I see we also got him on the Zoom, so we'll invite him up here in a second.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I love all the celebration in the chat. Thank you, family. We love that. We love that. All right, so let's see. Do I have co-hosts? Let me go over some stuff real quick. I do. Okay. All right, so let me hijack this. So yeah, family, this is, as you guys know, my second attempt at taking GJ shorts. And I love that it's my second attempt, right? Because we finally got the price I've been waiting on, right? Finally got the price I've been waiting on. We've been talking about this 167.50, right? Been talking about this 167.50. Honestly, I would have preferred to see a little bit higher. Like we like quite literally just tapped 167.50. Normally not that accurate, right? We weren't even really trying to be that accurate. We were just kind of using this liquidity up here. I'm going to highlight this for the people that are unaware, maybe weren't on Sunday's call, but we were looking at the liquidity up here, finally kind of getting grabbed, getting tested. And then from the result of what happened is after we breached that liquidity, we were kind of looking for sells. Now, you guys may or may not know, but I'm looking for some really, 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 really long-term sells on this. So this is not a position I'll be making adjustments to. It's not a position I'll be touching. This is my position. All right, we're gonna rock with this as long as we can. I am looking for multi-hundred, if not 1,000 pip plus moves from this. But the important thing is now at every little pullback, every little redistribution or new cycle that forms, my bias is going to be sells. I'm not looking at any sort of buying activity on GJ going forward, probably for the next couple of weeks. Assuming that this holds, right? Assuming this 167, like, don't just be a degenerate and say, like, okay, if it comes back up here, like, I'm just going to keep selling it. Like, no, like, because obviously this level, now that it's been solidified, this liquidity has been taken, we'll be looking at trading this to the downside. So I know that doesn't really help people that weren't up during London. Again, the market moves when the market chooses it wants to move. If I wasn't up, I also wouldn't be in this. I would have to be looking for an entry this morning, and we can see it's been pretty range bound this morning. So, maybe we'll have to grab an entry a different day. I don't think it'll produce, something worthwhile taking today during New York session. We will have to wait for some sort of structural logical entry, right? Maybe we will ultimately enter around these levels, but a little bit higher at the top of the range. But I did want to alert you guys, let you guys know that I will aggressively be looking to trade this to the sell side as long as this 167.50 holds. If we push back above here, I'm gonna have to reanalyze stuff. So that's just the main long-term bias, right? Just kind of really solidifying to you guys that this is something that I will look to hold, even past the TP that I have here, right? You guys know we're going to be looking for first below 159, and then possibly even below 152, and like all of that's going to take a long time, and we'll go over all of that on many more calls going forward. But just taking a look at some of the lower time frames to see if we can continue to get in this. Again, I don't want pullbacks in this to be too aggressive. I really don't want to come back up towards this 167.50. So if we are going to grab this today, if I was going to look at this from the opportunity of like, I wasn't up when it was up here at 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning to take my entry that's up here. If I was looking at this now, where would I look? I'll be looking to enter, and I would be looking for the same kind of idea where we can get like a push above this smaller range here to begin to fade. Now my problem with this is, there's a lot of inefficiency, imbalance, fair value gap, whatever you call it, in this area. So I wouldn't really look to be playing in the middle here. What I'd really be looking for, which is like our bread and butter for entries, is just a little push above this area, and then once we start closing back inside of the range, is when I will begin to take those trades. And you can kind of see that I was doing the same thing here with my entry, right? This is that liquidity level we were looking to be taken. Right, we pushed above that. We started showing some reversal back down into it, and then once we started getting back down into it, I just take my entry, right? I don't hold back. I don't wait for little things. Ideally, I would have wanted to see like a live OB form here, but I had the feeling it was just going to close lower, which it did. The 15-minute close very strong. So looking for that same little thing, just to pop above the supply and then come back down, and we can maybe take a trade. So our best hope for that is around this 166.70 area. I'm just going to put this price on the chart. Maybe it's a little bit easier to see like this for some people. I know my resolution's a little crazy. Again, do we get this today during New York session? I mean, maybe. Like, it would have to happen in the next hour and a half. But I'm gonna be spotting this, watching this level, for Asian session pullbacks, any sort of London session pullback. If again, if I'm awake, I haven't been sleeping, so I've been more awake for London than I have New York lately. But this is the level I'm gonna be looking for to trade to the downside, but it has to be above here. Again, we are moving pretty nice this morning, so I think the path for this is probably gonna push us down into some of these other demand areas, and then from there, again, maybe we can get a pullback to here. It might be unlikely. We might have to revisit this a different day with different structure to find an entry. But again, I really did want to bring this to your guys' attention that this is going to be the trade you're going to see me, potentially flexing in a few weeks, few months, are these GJ sells that we've been stalking. So I did also want to shout out to Eric, because Eric was correct on that buy. I ultimately was wrong on the idea of like selling in this area. Again, I don't mind taking that little 15 pip loss because, now I'm back in the market with another 15 pip risk. So my max risk on the setup was like 30 pips. And I've already, more than made that back. So it's not even like it's really a problem. But yeah, that's GJ family. Hopefully you guys can find some entries. I'll be stalking this as well.
That's
stops me out.
That's an interesting
This might be the
play.
wrong error.
But I'm actually looking at something a little bit different than you, Skags, right?
That's okay.
In terms of GJ, not really too different. But
you're looking for higher, then you must be looking for higher.
I'm definitely expecting higher for sure. Like for sure.
Yeah,
it's just I think we could see a little bit of a drop. I don't think we're gonna see a crazy drop in my opinion just yet. Yeah, because I still want this to continue bullish. Like I still
I mean, battle of the educators. I guess we'll see who's right. No, I cannot be short, man. This has been my plan for a long time, and you guys know me with plans. Like nobody's gonna talk me out of my plan.
That's a fact.
Like it's just, and again, Abel doesn't expect to talk me out of it. Just like I'm not gonna sit here and talk him out of his. If he wants to see more upside, then I was gonna say I hope the market gives it to you, but the truth is I don't hope that it does. The hope is that it doesn't give you what you want.
Of course. Because look at this. Is what I'm looking at right here. Let me take back the screen share for 1 second.
Yeah, let me see.
All right, so this is what I'm looking at personally speaking. Right, I was actually looking at more for one. I just look at this higher time frame, man. This daily, and this just looks so bullish. Like I just think it's so easy for us to come up above this 169 and capture all this liquidity up here. It's the same thing as the 167, so I can agree with the potential of that. Yeah, like this 167 too. Obviously, we already spiked into it, but it's just the reaction that we're getting from these lower levels. Like that's what's really got my attention, right? We ran this low right here. We rebounded. We didn't necessarily break the highs just yet, which is why I'm more focused on it. But then we started creating bullish structure, all right? And that's why I think there's a good chance that we at least come up to this 169. But like for an intraday setup, like this is what I'm more so looking for, which pretty much aligns with what you were just talking about, how we could end up seeing price come a little bit lower into some of these liquidity pockets, and then from there give us an opportunity to go ahead and ride this thing higher. So I do think long term we're gonna go bullish, my personal opinion, but I don't think that's something I'm targeting just right now. For like right now, I'm very comfortable looking with a play like this, just riding us back up to this 167.2, just back up into this, pause right here in this market, right? So that's just my personal opinion on GJ and what I think is gonna happen.
Yeah, I mean, I can again, like, I can agree with the, analysis. Yeah, I would just let me just show you again the why.
Yep.
Because I mean, like, you bring up good points. You definitely bring up good points. Right? You have like this low. What was the low you were showing? This low? Well, you're on like a 4 hour. Nah, yeah, you were showed this low, yeah, and then you were like, okay, so it didn't create a new high, right? So like again, like my thing with this, especially on like the daily time frame, that's what you were looking at was the daily.
Yeah.
Was like, yeah, like, you have this low that swept a bunch of liquidity and then came up, but like again, to your point, it didn't make a new high.
Yeah.
Like that's like that's a major like sign for me. Like if you get like a swipe of liquidity and the demand that comes off that doesn't create a new high, that's not exactly like bullish for me. Like I find it hard to be bullish on that, especially again when like the volume is diminishing, the volume on these rises is diminishing. We have a ton of sell volume coming into the market. So again, like one of us is gonna be right, and like again, like I wouldn't be against selling above 169. Like again, there is liquidity build up here. I'm looking at that myself even. Like I have that marked out on my chart. But I would be highly annoyed if I didn't take a trade against this 167 liquidity, at least for the attempt, right? Because you guys know I'm already like I have no risk in it coming back to 167.50. If it comes back to 167.50, again, it will have to make that adjustment and assume 169. But yeah, I mean, even if you do clear this 169, I still think you reject off of that and fall multiple hundred pips. I'm really set into stone. That I mean, let me just go to a different GBPJPY because this is kind of messy. But of course, there's just high volumes everywhere, stuff everywhere. But I really do believe that like this break and push below, I think this is a weekly high. I think GJ is done. Even like this weekly candle we're forming right now, like it's just again playing into supply. I'm basically betting that this weekly candle closes down. I don't see this. If this weekly candle closes up, I might have to like readjust my idea. But I'm betting this weekly candle does close down like below here. I see this as just like a little bit of a retest to this candle here, and now we're gonna drop. So like that's really the idea that I'm playing. Again, if it pauses up here, it pauses up here.
That weekly perspective definitely looks a little crazy.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm playing. Like I'm playing to the wipe of this liquidity, right? I ask myself again. I play from my check marks to my hourglasses. So if I'm gonna look at this, right, this is all liquidity taken, and this is all liquidity yet to be taken. So it's like it's hard for me to look at this and be bullish. It's just hard because again, I'm gonna trade from liquidity that's taken to liquidity that's not, and this, I mean, like I can't not take a trade that's telling me it's gonna move 1,800 pips. So again, like when I look at like wipes of liquidity like this, again, I'm gonna look to trade from the wipe of liquidity to the next obvious liquidity, and like this low is not quote unquote like a strong low to me, so. That doesn't mean this liquidity is gonna be enough to warrant the drop, but it warrants enough for me to try and see. And we've had a nice reaction off of it. So yeah, I mean, I guess we'll see who's right, who's wrong.
And this is the thing.
I kind of hope it gives us both the opportunity to play.
Yeah, it's not even really necessarily about who's right or who's wrong. It's more so just different opinions, and that's why I think these conversations are not even good for us, right? But it's good for the community because I see in the chat, they're going like, "Yo, these conversations are fire." Right, and again, it's also very possible for us to both be right. That's the beautiful thing about it. Yeah, because
I mean, you're not even. I mean, you said 167.20.
Yeah, I'm not
so
writing out no.
I agree with the idea that this pushes down into here, and like you probably do get like a nice little pullback.
That's all I want. That's all I need right there.
Yeah, like I mean, I can agree with that. I just like as it moves up closer to this level, it just like makes me more nervous. It's like, all right, my entry is right here. Like, chill out.
Yeah.
So don't get too excited. But the market will do that where, it might come up for like one final push. But if we do get a pullback like this and we break this level, then it's game over. This is the high for sure.
Yeah, 100. See, if we see something like that, then yeah, I'm with you. Then I'll be selling all
Yeah.
day long again.
But again, as long as this holds, man, I'm gonna find it difficult to look bullish.
Oh yeah,
But
it's gonna be interesting to see
yeah,
how it plays
family, I
out.
mean, like let us know what you guys think. Like you guys definitely gonna have analysis in the chat as well. Feel free to share it in the back end community. Um, let's just see what you guys are saying in the chat real quick. Battle of the Titans. How
Catching
y'all
catching
communicating?
that sell to buy.
We got that boy Devin in the building.
Yeah, what's
Yes,
good? That's what I
sir.
said.
What's good, man? I just love like how they said the communication amongst y'all is definitely next level. And big shout out. I just want to show y'all gratitude for allowing me to hop on here today. It definitely means a lot, man, for real, for real. Y'all don't even know, man.
I
This
think
this month since I've been home, since I've actually came back from Cedar Point, I haven't been working a job and I've been just strictly focusing on trading. And I said this in the chat a few, like maybe like 2 weeks ago. And I said that I've been the most profitable in my whole 2 years of trading in this past month alone. Um, so this goes to anybody who might be struggling, who might be going through some ups and downs of not being profitable, losing accounts. Trust me, man. I've been through so many funded accounts, like how Abel said earlier this morning. And it definitely takes time. Definitely don't rush the process. Definitely learn as you're going. Experience is your best friend, honestly.
yeah. Shout out to that boy Devin, man. We literally seen your entire process, bro. Your journey, and it's been absolutely amazing to be a part of, right? Because the crazy thing is, like, we only got acquainted. It wasn't because of you. Like somebody else introduced us, right? Which is kind of cool how that happens, right? You know, another source introduces us, and the source falls off, ends up going back to what he was doing, and now you're still here pushing, right? So it's amazing just to see that whole progression and just to see where you've been at, bro, and how you've been going. Because like I said, like, you know, us, me, Skags, like, we know more than anything how much work you've been putting in. All right, you know, everybody in the chat really don't really know, right? You know, they just see the little bits and pieces that you show them, but they don't understand the past 2-3 years that you've been putting in towards, you know, really getting to this point. So, you know, big shout out to you, bro. It's amazing. But Devin, now that you on the call, what you looking at over there? What you looking at, man?
All right, let me go ahead. Oh, Skags, you still got the screen? I'll hijack it a little bit.
Hijack,
Yeah, you could
yeah,
hijack, bro. I was just marking up Nasdaq,
All
but
right, all right.
yeah. They say ain't he from Muskegon, y'all? There's nothing in Muskegon. That's a fact.
There's nothing in Mesquite.
Yeah, we went to Michigan like
That's
2 years ago. We went to Kalamazoo to do an event, and we went to Detroit, but there was nothing in Kalamazoo, like nada, nilch. I'll probably never go back to Kalamazoo a day in my life. To be honest with y'all.
Hey, so really, I haven't really marked up anything today, honestly. Today was just a day for me to just really sit back and learn. I understood that Abel and Skaggs was hopping on today, so I really wasn't too pressed on trying to find a setup or even trying to trade in the first place. I'm up a nice little bag this week. I do want to go over this GJ because Skaggs was just going over it, like literally how he was talking about this. It literally hit my stop loss and literally dropped for over 100 pips. But I was literally looking at the same thing they were looking, and I was looking to see if this wick can get filled. But after it made this high right here, I was concerned of this wick, right? As I was concerned about this wick, I didn't see that it was strong, and I knew that we still had an area of supply up here to retest back into. That's why you guys can see why I have my inner range liquidity up here. Swept this, literally swept the high, and I do agree with Skaggs though on the on that weekly high, because he was going down his time frames, and he was showing me, like, me personally, I like to take engulfings as confirmations. So it was we get an engulfing right here. This is a nice angle. Like, this is beautiful to me. Push up to sweep it, then just get a nice bearish engulf to close it back down to run. That's very nice. And then I just had this same thing with this EU. I didn't think that this high was that strong. It dropped, came back up, swept the high, and literally tanked. I personally got out of this like somewhere down here, so I caught about a nice 70 pips off of it. Nothing too major. And then I had US CAD.
Wait, Devin, go back to that real quick.
Go back to EU.
Yeah, just you see how EU just made its push up, and
Right
now
here?
it's kind of coming back. That's exactly what we're looking for on GJ here. The same thing, that little
Same.
bit of a pullback right above the little previous range highs. So that might actually be good for a sell too. I don't really like that high that it formed, but nonetheless, like
EU?
we're looking for that same thing on GJ.
Maybe let me see. Let me clean
Probably
this
above those two wicks to the left there.
above the 2 wicks. Oh, yep,
Yeah,
right here.
like right where your line is. Yeah.
Yep.
But nonetheless, it's like I'm just
So-
trying to show that it's like this the same idea is like now that it's kind of pushed up into that like mid-range supply, we can get that little dip.
Get something like this.
Yeah, I would just run to that other wick, a little bit of like 2 pips higher. There
Oh,
you
right
go.
here. Right here. Oh, yeah. Okay, then just taking it back down to the lows.
Yeah,
That's
that's
good.
the same thing we're looking for on GJ. That little bit of a push. I think we're actually getting it right now, to be honest with you. Or well,
Okay. Oh, yeah. So you're looking at it right here. Okay.
Yeah. Yep. Same little idea where you get that little nice strong push, quote unquote strong push, that little push above. But yeah, precisely, bro.
I like that.
And I also see what you were looking at with that first entry on GJ. I gotta say,
I'm-
if you know,
Ah, man, I'm hurt about this, bro, because I
Yeah.
actually I took the information that you gave me, and I just been patiently just waiting for this to set up. And like lately, that's a big thing that I've been stressing on myself, is that I've been sitting on my hands so much lately. And like, you guys known me, like I'm somebody who just likes to push the button. Like, I have no hesitation when it comes to pushing that button. But lately, I understand that sometimes the best trade is no trade. Like, sometimes sitting
a
on your
bar.
hands, is the best trade. You know what I'm saying? It's not, what's the word I'm trying to find? It's
That boy preaching right now. Talk, Devin. Let's go.
because there's always countless opportunities in the market. You don't need every single opportunity. Like, say for example, right, this buy that happened to actually get this sell. I didn't need to get in for this buy. You know what I'm saying? I could have just patiently been waiting for this to happen. And even if this did hit my stop loss, which it did, that's totally okay. I'm not risking that much. And something big that I've been able to do that might help you guys is accepting your risk. I know I got this from Abel, and he was talking about how moving your stop loss to break even. And that's really one thing that I've been working on, instead of closing, because I was quick to close out of my trades, right? So quick to close out of my trades, but I'm not moving my stop loss to break even to let those trades run. That was my big problem over these past few months. And when I tried to figure out how or what I can do, once Abel said remove the risk, and I started pondering on that for like a week or two. I'm like, yo, okay, I understand what I physically have to do as a trader so I can really get the equity that I want. So now what I do is, instead of pulling off the trade completely, I just move my stop loss to break even and just let it run. That way you don't feel any type of way when you quote unquote should have been like, oh, I could have been still in this trade, I should have held it. That woulda, coulda, shoulda is not in our book anymore, because you could have if you wanted to, you would have if you wanted to, you should have if you wanted to. Like, all these things, if we really wanted to, we would. And in trading in the zone, it talks about we see everything so clear after the fact, but all the information is invisible to us during the time. Like, I know everybody for a fact can agree with me that you see stuff so clear after the fact, or after you get out of your trade, or even if you don't get in for your trade and you're like, dang, I should have got in for this, but you see everything that's happening. Like, that is the point. Those are the points right now that I'm currently in, where I'm constantly building data on myself. So when I'm building up this data, I can actually take those data points and relate them back into the market. So when I see something happening like this, I don't do what I used to do, right? This DP is not the same DP that used to scalp trade and used to drop. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't get me wrong, I still scalp trade, but I understand what I'm doing from a level, a higher level of consciousness.
Sheesh. Bro, you on fire right now, bro. I'm not even gonna lie.
But yeah, it is 9:30. Skags are able, go ahead and take over the chart back.
I'll take over. I'll take a look at NASDAQ real quick.
Sheesh. Hold on, family. Drop some sevens in the chat for that boy Devin. He just went insane. Like, just came on here and started dropping so many nuggets, so many gems. Go ahead and drop some sevens in the chat for the man for sure. Let's go. Shout out to you, Devin. Appreciate you, bro.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Let's go.
Let's see what we got. Yeah, so I'm a little torn on NASDAQ, family. I know on Sunday I had said, again, this is probably gonna pull back, right? Because I told you guys the moves are getting obvious, right? The buys are getting obvious. Everybody sees the buys. Everybody expects the Fed to make some sort of adjustment. And I gotta be honest. We are expecting price to come below these areas, right? To kind of take out all these quote unquote late obvious buyers, right? Everybody that kind of sees that. But the reaction we're getting from, this liquidity being taken, us filling this wick, is kind of interesting to me, because on the 1 hour, we continue to beat against the same support level, right? So we continue to beat against this same support, right? For the little stupid trend line here. We've had nice sells, recover, come back down into the same support, And even today, we're probably going to end up testing this little trend line here. And this is going to get weak enough to the fact that we're gonna end up spilling over, right? Is the entire point, right? It's going to just keep building up liquidity here to spill over. The question, though, that I'm kind of asking myself now is, with a rejection like this off this 4 hour chart, like, this is where I'm expecting price to come. But my problem is like, is there enough demand down here to actually then take us back up? Or are we looking at like maybe a deeper pullback than I was initially anticipating? And I think that's becoming more and more of the case. Because what I really wanted to see this week is I really wanted to see us push a little bit higher, which you guys know if you go back to the Sunday call, and then get this correction. This way, when we got the correction, we kind of had more room to play with. Now it's like, once we erase this, which is now, in my opinion, inevitable, and we do get down to this area here, I don't know if there's going to be enough initial demand to actually, allow me to take these partial positions even higher. And that kind of annoys me, because it just lets me know I have to sit on my trades for longer. So I actually do think that NASDAQ probably will see more aggressive downside. We are going to look at this 11,400 level, more or less. 11,390 is like the technical price. What happens is, like, even though we do break this, I'm not expecting demand to come in right away like I was on Sunday. I think what I'm going to expect is that it's probably going to be very annoying in its pullback, and probably pull back deeper to like maybe even these levels, which like what really concerns me about like this other position here. So yeah, I want to kind of see how this reacts today. Obviously, Nasdaq already opened. This is not really giving us anywhere to enter. I'm not trading in this area here. What I'm going to be concerned with today, though, is how much volume comes into the market below this wick. This is going to be like critical for like the future path. If we break below this level here, 11,710, and this happens on a higher sell volume, then this pullback is going to be pretty intense. Because I know a lot of people, remember, we talked about this, right? Everybody, I showed you guys, even in the trading view chat here, a lot of people are looking bullish EU, bullish NASDAQ, and they're super late. So I'm be monitoring this today. I want to see how we react off this level. I will say if we do push below this level pretty nice and come back above, in that case, I will expect price to kind of play around with the highs some more. But if we get a clean break of this, I would advise people to be very careful on thinking that this low is going to hold, right? Because typically this low is pretty strong, right? Swapped liquidity, got a nice push, broke structure, but there's really been no follow through to it. And when there's no follow through, more times than not, you're going to wipe out the entire move. So we're going to see what we have on this by the end of the day. I don't really see any trade on the NASDAQ that I'm interested in taking today. Maybe you fill this wick and some demand comes in and you can take buys off this level. I'm personally not going to be looking for that because, again, I'm not playing up in this, kind of nonsense area. But I did want to forewarn you guys that on this and then even EU, because we know that these are going to move together. Well, this looks a little stronger. But EU still has a ways to go for the liquidity grab as well. So NASDAQ might be experiencing some more aggressive pullbacks. And I know that kind of goes against the whole holiday rally idea because we are in December now. But yeah, just watch out below on NASDAQ for sure. That's what I see with the open. Again, it looks like it wants to be pretty aggressive today. I don't see why it wouldn't be. I don't see why it wouldn't fill this wick. Again, I wouldn't have executed here, so I'm not really going to be mad about missing this trade. I know some people are going to look at this and be like, bro, that's like a 900 pip move or whatever you guys want to call it, like 90-point move. But yeah, it's not something that I'd be specifically interested in taking. But yeah, that would be my analysis on the NASDAQ. I know it's, again, it's not ready for me to trade today. It's just not in an area where I would want to be trading it today, so don't expect me to call a signal on it. If these other boys have something,
Skaggs, bro, I
cool.
stay trading NAS, bro, and even myself, I'm kind of like, you know what I'm saying? I kind of feel like how you do, bro. Like I'm not getting the momentum and that New York opening volatility like I usually do. That actually gives me confidence to take this. I'm looking at the buys exactly kind of where you are. I'm looking for it to
this
because
wick is
that wick on that long bearish candle is kind of suspicious to me.
Yeah, this would also be, I mean, I would also have to take this at a specific time. This would have to happen at like 10:05. Like if it doesn't happen at like right after 10, like the 10 a.m. candle don't open, test below here and come back above, there's no trade here for me at any point today. So if it does this at like 2 p.m., I'm not gonna be interested. I see that Kyle wrote in the chat instead of just unmuting himself, he said, I got a trade. So Kyle, good morning, brother. Let us know what you have, bro.
Yeah. You guys know me. I'm always stalking USD CAD. Honestly, I'm attempting a sell. I'm putting a small lot on this sell right here. I'm definitely in it. It's a very small stop loss. It's only a 15 pip. You could actually run it at this high and have it 18 pip. I don't know. You can do either or. I'm gonna just stick with the 15 pip because I feel like if we wipe this, then ultimately we will wipe that too. On a long-term time frame, let's just zoom out. I just kind of want to see some sort of lower high form, right, within this region, right? So, some sort of lower high to take us down, clear these lows. And that's my bias overall on USD CAD. And I really want to see this get filled. But I do also have the idea that we could also not come up to there. Like there's been loads of times I've seen the market not come up and tap the daily candles or the top of the range, the premium discount zone. There's not a lot of times that it comes up to there, but just playing this due to the fact that I do want to see it come up to there, but there's a small possibility that it doesn't come up to here. This is really like my highest probability sell zone that I would take if we do end up coming all the way up there. But I'm gonna give myself at least 2 to 3 attempts on this bias that I have here. So I'm gonna monitor USD CAD from the lower time frame. I think if we close this 30-minute candle as engulfing right here, this is definitely gonna raise my confidence in this trade. But at the end of the day, if we lose, we lose. I put a risk that on this trade that even if I lose, it would still be good for my account. I'll still be in profit on my account, and the stop loss is so small that I'm willing to lose on this position. And you guys got to start playing the math like this, right? If you guys have a trade like USD CAD right here that has the potential, just even swinging down to the next lows is 400 pips, right? You guys got to ask yourself, are you willing to risk 10 to 15 pips at least 2 to 3 times to catch 400 to 500 pips, right? It's basically like risking, let's say you lose 3 of those attempts. That's basically like, or let's say you lose 3 of those attempts, you lose 2 of those attempts and the third attempt you hit on, right? You lost, let's say 30 pips, but the attempt that you actually won on, you made 400 pips. Now, this is not something that you want to do every day, like marry a specific bias on a pair. This is just my bias on USD CAD. I do want to see continued bearishness, and I'm gonna keep you guys updated on this position. I kind of want to just see this roll over and break this low. If we don't get that, my confidence in this trade is gonna actually kind of reduce. But we'll see what happens, right? Just looking at the dollar, I kind of do want to see the dollar make some bearish moves today, right? The way that we're reacting off of this, it kind of just gives me like continuation vibes from up here, right? So if the day has more volatility in it, then I want to see the dollar start to roll down a little bit, especially right here. I want to see maybe if we can roll down for the rest of the day for the dollar. Now, obviously, there's a possibility that, once we do roll down, we could trade off of here and do something like that. So be aware of that. There's a possibility that something like that can happen. And I am, keeping my eye on that. I do have those levels marked. And, until those levels, achieve itself and I start seeing the proper reactions in the market, then I will start to react to what's going on. But yeah, with that being said, that's kind of like all I have for now. If there's a re-entry or, if there's, another opportunity or something like that, I'll let you guys know. But for now, I'm kind of just riding this USD CAD sell, it's rejecting here on the 1 minute. Let's see what happens. Again, I'm not really too worried about it. I'm just going based off of my theory of what I see happening on the dollar. And I kind of want to see this roll over to the downside. But yeah, that's what I have. Honestly, I kind of hopped on a little bit late. I saw you guys talking about NASDAQ. Honestly, I don't know if anybody else went over the dollar or not, but
we went over. I mean, close to everything. I just want to do a real quick check, real quick. Can we get some twos in the chat if you guys can hear me? Because it seems like the chat is like way behind us. I just want to see if there's a lag. But let me get, when you guys hear this, drop a two in the chat for me.
Y'all might want to check
Apparently not.
NAS too. Y'all might want to
For
check
some
out
reason, it seems
NASDAQ. Y'all might want to check out NASDAQ too, by the way.
Show us, Ray, what you got. I just went over NASDAQ.
No, I know it's just dropping down towards your entry.
Oh yeah, no, I'm not interested in buying it off there at 945. Like I said, that thing's gonna sink. I'm not looking to take that buy.
Word. I'm personally not buying it. I thought you wanted it if it pushed down there before 10 o'clock or something.
I mean, if it does like a certain thing down there, like maybe, but I'm really not interested in taking a position off this. I do think the Nasdaq does have further downside. There's no way it doesn't fully erase this move. Just hold on, let me just share my screen since Kyle's not looking at Nasdaq right now. So again, guys, like, look, the momentum on this is very much to the downside. Like I just said, you know, if certain reactions happen here, yeah, maybe you could look at something. But again, that was not the point of me telling you guys that. I do think ultimately it comes down below this 11,400. I just see no reason that we don't erase this move after this move not having follow through, right? This is move pushed up, it grabbed liquidity, no follow through. If it was going to have any follow through, it would have happened here. So yeah, my bias is currently probably still leaning to the bear side on Nasdaq, and I'm gonna just patiently wait to see where like the next like longer term area is better to buy from, which I do believe is not till down 11,400. So yeah, we'll see. Definitely appreciate you alerting me of that. Did GJ pull back at all for us? No, of course not. Yeah, so we'll have to sit on our hands on that. I don't think I really have any other trades, so let's check out the chat real quick, see what the chat is saying. Good, you guys all got the twos. I appreciate y'all for real. I'm on a $500 profit on NAS100. Okay. You know, that doesn't really tell us anything though, because like what are you on a $500 profit with, like a 0.01 or like a one lot? Like that doesn't really tell us much about your position. You should, you know, tell us how many points up you are, so we have an idea of where you entered. Because really, like when you're sharing trades with other people, it's really not about the dollar amount that you make. Like I love that you're up $500, but yeah, see on like a 0.6 lot, on most standard brokers, you know, you're probably up like a couple of points. It's probably nothing too crazy. But yeah, let us know like where you actually entered in terms of price. But shout out to you, definitely nice $500 day. That's like you do that every day, and you know, life's on easy mode. Can you get my thoughts on how gold is moving? It's gonna be very similar to like NASDAQ and EU. It's really not gonna be that different. Again, this is just go to the 4-hour real quick. Again, so this has captured liquidity. Again, I was expecting, you know, the potential for these this week just based off how last week closed, but last week didn't really give us any follow through in that erase of NFP. So again, gold USC, we are looking for this to come down and probably fill this wick here at 1727. How it's currently moving, again, this is like what we wanted to see from GJ, right? We wanted to see these like lower time frame pullbacks to the supply. And you know, I probably would have been short up here at some point. So if you're looking at taking this to the sell side, again, like I would look to, you know, I mean, at this point, I would tighten up my risk a little bit. So I would just risk here, but the real invalidation level is like here. But I would tighten up my risk a little bit if I was going to chase this. And again, like I would still be looking for, you know, breaks below these areas, right, to take out all these kind of like late buyers. So pretty nice move. I mean, even something like this is a, you know, a 1 to 9. Again, if this wants to work out as a high, but you might get the situation where like, you know, this does push down, creates like a stronger low, quote unquote, below here, and then comes back for this liquidity. So again, this is not something that I'm executed on. I would have, again, I don't play when it's back inside the range. I would have played on the outside of the range. So we'll have to see what this gives us. Maybe it does give us another opportunity to enter. Again, I don't really like this price action that's up here too much. So I would probably expect it to kind of flirt with these highs again. But yeah, I would still be looking to the downside for sure. mean, you have a 1 hour like little CB that formed here, so maybe you do fall off. Yeah, I'd be looking to the downside for sure. What is this heart? I never.
Skags. I actually did just take a shot at NAS100 when it came down and it swept those lows. So I actually did grab an entry. I grabbed 2 entries down at 697.
Yeah, we'll have to see what I mean, like for me, like I need to see again how this reacts.
Yeah, I'm seeing what it does, and you know what I'm saying.
You know, I mean, like I know you out there scalping. I mean, like even like this doesn't really look like a solid low. Because like, again, for me, really too, is like this late into the hour candle. Like I know, even if this does hold down here, the likelihood that the 10 a.m. candle opens and fills this wick is pretty high. That's why, like, normally I wouldn't take it. But if we do come and fill this wick on the 10 a.m. and start closing back above, like, yeah, anywhere inside of here is a pretty good entry. But again, we have to see what kind of demand comes in before we go running in this. Eric is short at 1780. Hold on, let me just see where he's short from. 1780. Just put your stop. I mean, what was your stop loss originally? Nah, I wouldn't go break even yet. I mean, like if you are, I mean, it's really up to you. For me, that doesn't hit my parameters for going break even. This hasn't done anything worthwhile for me to go break even yet. So that's just my opinion. I have very specific rules for going break even, and this doesn't have either of that. Yeah, I mean, if your stop loss is just above the high, like that's 1780.74. Like it's less than 10 pips. Like either just risk the 7 pips or, you know, let it stop you at break even. Kyle, did you hijack the screen? What are you looking at?
Yeah, I did want to just update everybody and you know, let them know that, you know, the exact stop is 1.36475. So I'm actually still in this trade, guys. You know, it's in a little bit of drawdown still. So, you know, if there was anybody that was looking at this with me, you know, I'm running my stop just like 1 pip above this high. So, you know, as long as this is, you know, safe, then you know, let's see if we can start trading down, you know, from here. But with that being said, I'm still in there. You know, I do believe we will start trading down from here, especially with this imbalance. So, you know, just if you were looking at that, just want to update you guys. You know, also is actually looking good for anybody that's looking long off of here too. If anybody's looking at GU for intraday kind of move, but this is not really too much. You know, I would just, you know, look for an intraday move. If you were trading GU and, you know, you were looking at this candle.
Hey, that's mine now. Hey, now. Hey, I got it marked up. I'm just waiting for y'all.
All right, man. Yo, my bad, bro. All right. I'm not going to talk about GU, but, you know, I'm going to talk about UCAD. I'm in UCAD. Stop is 36475. Yeah, I got it. 1 pip above this high. Let's just let it rock. Now, you know, go ahead and do your thing, Ray. You know, honestly, I'm not gonna say nothing because I'm in that trade too, GU. So, you know, go over it.
Word. But you know, just poking fun at you. But it's cool because we all see the markets in a similar way a lot of the times. But definitely want to buy back up to that buy to sell candle that you had marked up. I think you was on maybe the 1 hour. Yeah, you was probably on the 1 hour. And you know, if you're looking at the 1 hour, you could have executed in this area here. I'm pretty much banking on the fact that it could come back down again to fill in this candle. I want to enter at 217 and see what we get there, because even this low here, it doesn't look strong to me yet. So we'll probably keep pushing back down to fill in this area where we got some internal range liquidity. So I'm targeting that from here. my exit's gonna be there, because even on the higher time frame, obviously this is a strong high and these are weak lows. So I'm looking at this more of a retracement, okay? So all of that will be retracive type of price action. And then we can continue to drop down here, all right? So, yeah, we definitely see the same thing there, bro. I'm looking for, sales eventually, but me being able to trade the smaller time frame, again, I could be in a overall seller's market, but still be able to capitalize on the buy ideas. So just with that, that's essentially what I see right there. So I'm glad you did see the same thing. And pretty simple concepts though, y'all, because we got this sweep of the low right there. Then, we're transitioning higher where we have this break of structure, all right? So now I have the bottom of my range. Now that I have the top of my range. And, if you don't want to read all of this price action within every last candle, a lot of people, they just draw a fib, right? And, get in on like 78% or something, 88%. And, you can do that and be successful. I'm not going to say you can't. Me, I'm just more of a price action guy. I feel like the least I have on my chart, the better. So I just like to look at little areas where I could see get cleared out and then respect stronger areas. And then, we can reverse and go up. So, it's pretty apparent that we have an impulse here, okay? And that this price action here is very corrective. So, it just looks like this, if you just look at it. And then all of these highs are also creating liquidity, okay? So when you have the retracement that's leaving weak highs behind, that's always a good thing, because now that's telling you that this low is stronger than these highs, or at least it should be, okay? So for me, that's what I'm targeting. The fact that we also have a couple weak highs up here, that also makes me feel good. So, I got all of this internal range liquidity that I could target for the downtrend move, right? So all of this needs to be filled in, or at least a good portion of it, okay? And once I fill that area in, then we can continue our sales down, all right? So yeah, we both see the same thing there, bro. But I'm looking at 1.217. So I'm looking a little bit lower. I want to have a 12 pip stop on this. And I'm going for 105 pips, all right? So that's a nice 8.75-ish type of trade. So if anybody wants that, all right? So that's all I got though. That's all I'm focused on for today. I'm passing up on everything else, all right? So that's that, man. I don't know if anybody else has something they wanted to look at.
Yeah, no, that move definitely looks pretty good though. It looks very, very juicy. And hopefully that aligns with what I'm looking for GJ. I mean, Ray, give me your thoughts and opinions on GJ, bro, if you don't mind.
Well, I was looking at this point of interest, but I did need to see how it reacted, because I feel like last time we was on a call, we was somewhere down here. So I felt like it was gonna come fill this in. I thought there was a chance for us to respect here, but when I started analyzing the lower time frame price action, these are weak highs. So I decided to avoid that trade. Once we got this impulsive move, I thought it could drop from here, but then once I started seeing these highs leaving more liquidity behind, I figured it'd push up again, which it did. So now we have the real push up. or the real sweep of liquidity. Market leaves this imbalance behind. Yeah, I mean, it's missing a couple elements that I like. But, you know, if I had to take this, I would definitely look for the sales. I mean, I'm pretty sure I see what you see. But pretty much a retracement for some sales. Now, we do have a lot of internal liquidity that does need to be filled. I could see all of this being attacked here pretty soon, just because the market left an abundance of weak lows behind. Even coming to the 5-minute, looks like we're kind of creating lots of equal lows. Now, I'm pretty sure there's going to be a sweep on the lower time frame that it'll respect. Could be this one here, because you do have these lower time frame sweeps, then push higher, then you come down, sweep again. So the market does have the possibility to push higher to fill in more of this imbalance. Now, for me, I like to see a stronger sweep to take a trade out of this area. But if it has to respect that, you know, I understand. Like I said, you know, I'm looking at it pretty much based on my ideology from GU on it, but it is missing a couple of things that I personally like to see to take a sell up here. Now, if I was to take a sell, it'd probably be more to do with correlation or something. But you know, I'm leaning more towards the bearish side just due to the fact that we did sweep this high over here. We also swept this high here. So, you know, with us sweeping all of these highs, it makes sense for us to get, you know, a pretty good move. Like to erase a decent portion of this move. You know, in a perfect world, we might even push up again. Just due to the fact that for me, when I see imbalance, I like to see hesitation, okay? It's the fact that I don't have any hesitation. I wouldn't be surprised. Like I want to say that the market would come up and continue down, but I also wouldn't be surprised if it came up somewhere up here and then went down in order to respect this. All right. So I kind of got two different analysis going on right here. We could make a lower high and then sell, or we could take these highs again and then sell if the market wants to look at this as a weak sweep of liquidity, right? Because we still have some liquidity that we could fill in. So if it wants to fill in more, then this one will not be a peak high. So, you know, those are pretty much the one or two options for me. This could be a peak high or it could be a weak high. And if it's a weak high, I'll take it up here, you know, but I would take a chance at it right here just because, you know, you gotta risk it to get the biscuit at the end of the day. So, you know, no risk, no reward. So for that premise of trading, I would take it from there. But in a perfect case scenario, instance of trading, I would take it from up here. All right.
Send it lower, never send it back.
Pretty much.
And I'm saying the opposite. Send it higher, never send it back.
Yeah. Time will tell.
I mean, mine is all short term anyways. So like let me show everybody again
Yeah,
what I'm
that's
looking at.
the thing too.
That's
You
the
guys
big
are
difference.
looking like intraday and intra-week.
Yeah, I'm literally looking I'm looking more so short term scout possibly. Like I mean, this is 100 pip range, you know, but this is what I'm looking at. I'm very interested to see how we play off of these lows right here. I think we're gonna end up running this level of structure right here that's been building up a lot of liquidity. But once we run that, that's where I'm really gonna start to look for the demand to pick back up for GJ, right? So again, it is different perspectives. I'm looking at much more smaller time frame, where Skaggs is more looking at weekly perspective, weekly bias, which is a cool thing, right? Because we could both still be right. Shit, we could both play out and take advantage of both of these setups too. You know what I'm saying? Like if I'm able to grab this buy and it works out for me, amazing. Then I'm just gonna be turning my bias to what Skaggs is saying, what Skaggs was mentioning, right? Because it does absolutely make a lot of sense, especially looking at that weekly, for us to continue, you know, possibly more to the downside for sure, right? But I really like this play higher first, though. All right, so just a quick update, family, right? I'm still going to be waiting for this, right? I'm still going to be waiting for this. I'm going to be taking this GJ, seeing how we actually end up playing off of this 166. If we get that nice reaction off that 166, you know, with a run of the liquidity and then a nice little rebound back up, I'm very much going to be taking that. Right, so yeah, I mean, it was definitely dope to see the perspective, because again, even what Ray was saying, right? Ray wasn't even on the call when we were breaking down our GJs. And he pretty much just, again, confirmed both of our biases, right? He said for the short term, yeah, there's a potential for price to push up, but he still expects long-term selling pressure, selling bias to the downside. You know, so that's very interesting. Very, very interesting, right? So, yeah, I want to see this, though, guys. I'm still going to be waiting. You know, I'm risking my 1-2% on this, and I'm just going to call it a day once I'm able to get this entry. Let's see. Let's see the chat. Devin, you must be deep in profit now. Is Devin deep in profit? Well, he ended up taking what?
I'm still holding. I'm holding strong, family.
Holding strong.
I understand. Listen, like how I said earlier, I accepted my risk and I'm chilling.
It's amazing to have that boy on here. Shout out to you, Devin, bro, for being on here with us this morning, by the way. Appreciate you, bro.
Big shout out to y'all for allowing me to be on here.
Yeah, yo, Ray, if you want, bro, you know, you can take back the screen share, because GU is right in that area you wanted to look for. So walk us through your thought process, bro, if you don't mind.
Just buy it. But yeah, let me take it real quick. And obviously it looks scary right now, but I mean, it's honestly the best time to buy if it's gonna react. You know, I want to get it while it's pretty much heading down, so that way I could get the best potential entry. Because by the time it starts to leave a wick, you're already too late.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, this is why, you know, in order to get these sniper entries. And can y'all see my screen?
No, we can't.
Okay. I thought something weird was going on. Hold on. I did something. Hold on, y'all.
Hey man, drop a 777 in the chat for Abel, Ray, Kyle, and Skaggs, man. Y'all don't understand how y'all really changing people's lives, man. Like literally right in front of y'all eyes. Drop some 7.
That's love.
So yeah, I took it. We're gonna see what happens. And again, guys, I gotta say it time and time again. And you know, you hear me say it a lot. Your Skaggs say it a lot. Kyle says it a lot. And by no means, this is not to try to protect ourselves and not take responsibility if we take a loss where it's like, oh, I don't care, or, you know, I got a small risk, so I'm taking a shot at it. Like, it's the way you got to look at the markets. So it's not as if, you know, I'm afraid of the outcome. So that's why I always say, you know, we just got to see what happens, or we got to, you know, even if I lose, I'm cool with the loss. Like, that's not us trying to not take responsibility. That's just the type of attitude you have to have in order to be profitable. Like, you can't have this arrogance about yourself, like you can't lose. You know what I'm saying? And once you understand that losses are inevitable when it comes to trading, that's when you start to pick the right trade setups a lot more. And you kind of not, you don't be afraid of losses either, because there's nothing to fear, if we being honest. You know, if you just accept the fact that it's going to happen, then you can knock them out with a lot less emotional attachment. And that's essentially what it is that we're looking to see happen. So, you know, that's why we say, regardless win or lose, you know, we're good. But, you know, we are getting a decent reaction. We can see what happens. Hopefully we get the follow through, and we can go ahead and attack these highs. So, you know, if you got in when I did, now your risk to award just went from 8.7 to like 13, 14. And this is essentially like why I feel like understanding technicals is so important. Understanding price action is so important, because something as simple as a 12 pip stop cut in half to a potential 6 pip stop, you can double your reward, you know? And a lot of people don't think it matters. Like when you get to the point of trading with, 5 pip stops or 10 pip stops, 15 pip stops, it's like, oh, I'm gonna just use 15, 20 pips just because it's easier. Not realizing that you're leaving so much money on the table, because if you could turn 20 into 10, you can double your lot size. If you could turn 20 into 5, you can, 4 times your lot size or quadruple your lot size. So that's why it's important to understand price action at the highest level, because if you could understand it at the highest level, now you can double, triple, quadruple your lot sizes without risking any more money. So just take that little nug for what it's worth. But like I said, we're gonna see what happens here. This drop here is kind of interesting to me. I typically like to see, well, when I say typically, I like to see this range happen a little bit lower, and then like a slight spike. But this could happen. I'm not tripping. I try not to be, too pessimistic when it comes to these pairs. So,
Easy Ray, I actually just read a quote too, like literally earlier, that said there was just like 5 tips of professional traders, and one of them was to remove hindsight from your analysis, right? And that pretty much just talked about what you just said, or oh, I should have did this. Like it's that hindsight, oh, I should have done this. It was this, that. That really just adds to a lot more mental stress than anything, guys, right? So you really got to remove hindsight from your analysis for right now, just so that you can think logically for sure, right? So I just wanted to bring that up.
yeah,
Trading in the zone will help you get that out of your head for sure.
yeah, I have to agree there. Trading in the Zone is a great book. It definitely goes over these concepts. It goes over just the mental capacity you have to be a successful trader, and it helps you realize that even if you lose, you're not a terrible trader. It doesn't mean that you're not going to be profitable. And once I really understood that, that helped me out a lot, because I mentioned this a lot, but like a lot of times as traders, we dive into this cycle of education, learning, and we don't really make more money, even in all that learning. And it's mainly because, probably due to hindsight thinking as well, but you start thinking about all the things you did wrong in the past. You start thinking about, oh, if I would have did this, I'd have this much in my account, or whatever the case may be. And now, even when you start diving into this cycle of learning, now you just adding more and more confirmations that you need to see before you take a trade. And all of those things kind of, put up fences and put up, obstacles before you push the button. Now, there are good obstacles that need to be met. There are confirmations that need to be had first. But there's times where you just need to push the button, man. Like, you don't need to put up all of these, barriers in front of yourself before you allow yourself to push the button. And that's what over-analyzing and over-educating can do. And that's why we say just learn something and take 100 trades first. Learn something and take 50 trades. And once you do that, you'll know if it works or not. But if you're looking at a trade by trade basis, then you're never going to find the perfect strategy, because there's no strategy that's going to win every single trade. So, the work really needs to be done is on the mental side of understanding that losses are okay. And this is where, trading goes against conventional thinking. Like if you're in school and you fail a test, that means you did something wrong and you need to study more, right? And, that's kind of the approach we take to the markets, where something like if you take a L, obviously you think that you're doing something wrong, when in reality, losses are an inevitable part of trading. So, we kind of have to go against the way we grew up to think about losses and mistakes in order to be successful traders. So, This is why a lot of us have learned to accept loss. We've learned to accept pain. You know, it's all about how you internalize it and how you relate to it, because there's some people out there that think, you know, one trade loss, that's a bad loss. There's some people think that losing their entire account is a loss. There's some people that look at, you know, having a bad month as a loss. Like, you have to really identify what a loss is to you, because it's not the same for everybody. And that's why we kind of blow losses off like, oh, who cares, we lost. Where there's somebody else that's stressing out over a loss. So who's right and who's wrong? It's all about how you internalize the loss. That's pretty much the premise of what trading is. So you know, you have to identify with this information differently. All of this that you see on your chart is information, right? The red and blue buttons on your MetaTrader 4 is information. Now you have to internalize this differently in order to get different results. So
push that button, man.
Pretty much, that's pretty much what it means. See, this is why I trade the lower time frame. I get it over with quick and easy. So 0.5% gone. No, I'm done. Plain and simple. Now, I did take some other trades that I'll go over. I don't know if anybody else wanted to do anything, but
I just wanted to say on that NAS buy that I total transparency with y'all. I did cut my losses short. So it didn't give me the reaction that I was looking for, like how Skag said. But I took a very, very, very low risk on that because of the fact of that. So I accepted my risk. It is what it is, and I cut my losses short.
That's all you can do, bro. That's all you can do. Watch GU push up now, but we'll see. I'm not saying chase it. That would be bad advice, you know. So don't, you know, just accept it for what it is. It is what it is. But we want to take a look at ETH. This tested us a little bit. This did test us a bit, but it did react. All right. It did fill a lot of that candle in, but it did respect that high. So this is something we talked about on the Sunday call, all right, where we looking for that high to be, you know, respected, looking for this internal range liquidity to be taken, and targeting this low. So we are reaching our targets slowly but surely. I actually forgot I was in this trade, which is actually a good thing. I didn't even check MetaTrader yesterday. Like, it's kind of crazy, but you know, still respecting this high, and you know, I'm glad that it is, you know, because I don't trade crypto that often, but it is good to see, you know, the concept still working. You know, I do have a motto called any pair, anywhere. Meaning that, you know, I'll trade any time of the day, I'll trade any pair, any asset class, it don't matter. But, you know, I am glad to see that is respecting. I'm looking for that to be taken for sure. Looking for 1200 to be attacked as well. And, you know, like Skag said, we could start accumulating buys right at or underneath 1200. You know, this entry here is a best case scenario, but anywhere underneath this pocket of money here would probably be a valid point of interest to start looking for buys. And then understanding that this could be a point where the market does not come back for a while. That is something to pay attention to. All right. Now looking at AU, I'm pissed. I'm livid right now. I'm not gonna say livid, you know, because I don't care, but you know, I would have liked to be in this position. So, you know, I took this trade here, right? I took this trade, you know, partialed out. You know, the market had this real fast drop. You know, I started closing entries around here, right? Then the market comes and makes a new high. I don't know what I was doing. I don't know if I was asleep. Like, what time was this? Too bad I suck at military time. No, what was this like? What's that, y'all? Who's in the military? what's that, like 10 o'clock or something? 10 p.m. What is
So yeah, yep.
Yeah, that would be 10 p.m.
this? Okay, 10 p.m. All right.
So there was AUD news, a red folder last night at 10:30.
Okay. So yeah, because I took this sell here because this is the point of interest I was looking for, you know, to give me this reaction. And I ended up taking that lower time. I saw the pattern on the lower time frame, but I also, what I'm noticing is that I'll have these patterns on the lower time frame, but if they leave wicks behind like this, the market's still probably gonna come up and take it again. So, and they say don't trust the first tap, especially in a big point of interest like this, don't trust the first tap. So, that's essentially what I seen happen here, unfortunately. But overall, the premise holds overall, of AUD going short out of this zone. So, I wish I would have just had the awareness at the time. I don't think I was actively trading. I was probably eating dinner or something. I don't know. But, we did take those highs, and that was the move I really wanted. But all good. This will probably continue for quite a while now. It's already up 140 pips just about. But yeah, that'll probably continue for quite a while. Take out several lows, push down into this region here. And that's essentially why I want GU to come back up, just due to the fact that yeah, there you go. But this is why I want GU to come back, because I'm looking for all of these dollar crosses, to pretty much continue bearish. So same way I'm looking at AU to go bearish, I want GU to go bearish as well. But I needed to come up to about 2275 first. So if I can get up there to about 2275, I would love to take that sale. All right. GJ, we kind of already went over that. I know Abel was waiting on that. The GU trade I gave last week, it was going good until it wasn't. So I did partial out a little bit here. This is where I moved my stop to break even. So regardless, I was protected there. So yeah, right now I'm just, scoping GU.
Now, I have a question for you on GU, bro. Now that we're seeing these lower time frame shifts in structure, would this make you get ready to look for another potential entry around those areas, or what's your thought process around this now? Because we literally got stopped out by 2 pips, 3 pips, some shit like that.
This is definitely, it looks better in my opinion. Just due to the fact that we got that volatility that came into the market. So if you wanted to attack it again, I'd probably go for 2165 price point with the stop beneath the lows. And again, you're not gonna get the perfect sniper every single time, and this is why you want to trade in a way where you can take more than one attempt. Like, you shouldn't always be one and done in the markets. Like, they say the best batters, I'm not a baseball guy, so don't quote me on this, but they say like the best batters, they get on base like 25% of the time, 30% of the time, and that's essentially the same thing with trading. So, and you ain't gonna, I ain't gonna sit here and say I lose that much. I don't lose that much, but like I ain't losing 75% of my trades. That's for damn sure. But it just goes for the fact that you can take a loss here and there and still be successful. But in a perfect world, I want to see 2165. Will we come there? Maybe. But if I want to take that, that's where I would probably take it. Yeah, and if it don't respect that, I'll just call it a day, honestly. But because this is counter trend, and that's what I want you guys to understand. Like, the market coming back up to this point is a best case scenario, but there is no guarantee that says that has to happen, because the market could just want to respect this point of interest and make new lows, right? That's always a possibility. So when it comes to these counter trend trades, you want to be especially careful, and just have that in the back of your head. I'm not telling you to trade scared or nothing, but just keep your expectations in the right place. That's the whole thing about trading. Sometimes our expectations are all out of whack, and like we just feel like the market has to do what we say. And the market don't really owe you nothing, like the market doesn't owe anybody anything. So understanding that, just take your trade ideas, see what happens. I was listening to Market Wizards, which is a audio book of several, multi-millionaire traders. And it was just talking about how this guy, he made like $100 million in the market. And the way he approached trading was he's just paying a small fee to see what happens. Like, he doesn't really care what the outcome is, just paying a small fee to see what happens. And that's your risk, that's your stop loss. So you're paying a small fee just to see what could potentially happen. And, if you have that type of attitude, it saves you from all this emotional pain. So, yeah, I'll see what happens here. And, 2165, I'll probably go take another buy. If I lose that, I'll be down 1% and I'll just call it a day.
Yeah, I like that. All right, I want to answer this question though that somebody asked in the chat. Right, they asked, they're in $1,300 profit. Should I close it? It's just a rule of thumb, family. Right, if you have to ask other people, should you close a trade? You should close that trade regardless, because that tells me you don't have no plan. All right, you gotta have a plan with everything, guys, from your entries to your exits. In fact, your exits are probably more important than your actual entries, low key. All right, because there's a lot of times where we can get great entries, but we just mess up the exit and it completely reverses on us. All right, so again, we need to have a plan for those exits way before we even enter that trade. Like, where are we planning to get out? Whether it's a stop loss exit or a take profit exit, right? You should still know exactly what you're looking for, where to get out, right? So if you have to ask that question, yo, I'm in this much amount of profit, should I exit? The answer is always going to be yeah, because you clearly don't have a plan with that. All right, so I hope that made a little bit of sense. Let's see. Yeah, so I mean, just an update from me, guys. I'm still being patient with GJ. I don't know if we're gonna get that pushed down, but I'm still gonna be holding. See if we can get it. If we can, amazing. If we can't, then it is what it is. It's one of those days where we just be patient. All right, but how the rest of the guys feeling? How the rest of the team feeling? Right, Devin, you're part of the team today, bro. So how you feeling over there as well, bro? I love the energy, by the way. Right, that's one thing I missed about you, bro, is your energy. So how you feeling over there, Devin?
I'm great, man. I'm really over here just chilling, just taking everything in that y'all saying. I'm always a student at the end of the day. Doing a little bit of journaling as well. So that's one thing that has allowed me to get to this point as well. Definitely journaling and definitely reading has definitely big. And I know people will say, well, I can't read, I can't focus on reading. Well, you only say you can't, like, but there is can within that can't. Just like impossible, there's I'm possible. It's the same thing. Or people think that they're too good to journal or read, but that's where all the information is, because that's where they put a lot of the great information at, because they know a lot of people are not willing to open up a book and actually take out that time and read, not knowing that reading is actually good for you. But yeah, I'm feeling good though. I'm chilling. I did take that one lesson, but other than that, we chilling.
I love it. I love the mindset, bro. Like, you've been dropping massive mindset gems, psychological gems for sure on the family, right? So I appreciate you for that.
My personal development game had to go up. If I wanted higher profits, I had to put my personal development on the same, on the same frequency.
Mm-hmm. That's a fact.
This is true. This is true. A lot of people neglect that when it comes to trading, and I feel like it's more important when it comes to trading, because nothing tests you mentally like trading does. So a lot of people neglect personal development when it comes to trading, not understanding that, the challenges of life hit you every time you open up your charts. Like
For real.
when you get hit with an L, or you get your expectations aren't met, and you get a rush of all these emotions and thoughts. You can really put your personal development to work every single day when it comes to trading. And a lot of people, they say you don't know if you learned something until you have to apply it. A lot of times you may be, personal development. We obviously all came from another business together where we had to apply this type of stuff. But I feel like with trading, it's that much more important because you're bound to have disappointments and stuff like that, and the way you bounce back from them are going to be the main indicator on whether or not you're successful or not. And that's what the difference between people that quit and keep going. It's the main difference. And like in you, for example, bro, and like we had this conversation the other day when you gave me that call. Out of probably 200 people in Michigan, bro, and you was a person that was really heavy on the personal development. You was the person that kept going, and now you're trading a 6-figure account. And it's like the universe doesn't make any mistakes. That's very intentional. You putting in the work, and that's why you got what it is that you want. So it's just a testimony right there that proves the fact that you continuously working on your mind relentlessly without giving up is the thing that gives you the blessings you're looking for.
Facts.
So
Everybody needs it. Everybody needs a DP in their life, man. I'm very humble and very confident in myself. But hey, just to top what you said, Ray, because I know we both play collegiate football, and with the discipline being within sports versus the discipline and the mentality in trading is so significant. And you have to I personally had to I truly found who I was as a person through trading. And the crazy thing is I played football for 18 years of my life. I'm 24 years old right now, right? I played football since I was 5 years old, right? And through all those years, yes, you have to be disciplined. Yeah, you got to be consistent, showing up on the field, this and that. But the difference between playing a sport and having discipline versus trading and having the discipline and the mentality shift and the paradigm shift, because I was just on the phone with BJ. Shout out to BJ, by the way. And we were talking about how we needed a new paradigm shift because we were learning all this new information. And we were stuck in that same kind of bubble. We was like, okay, now there's something out there that we need in order to shift our paradigm in order for us to go to that next level. So yeah, I just wanted to throw that out there because I bring up the sports analogy every single time I'm relating trading to something other, because a lot of people know me from playing sports.
Right.
I throw that out there.
I feel like the ability to endure pain personally, that's one of the things I really took from sports, is to wake up every day and to put your body through that. Trading is easy, or building a business is easy, talking to people is easy. Everything comes, I feel like if you can make it through collegiate sports, you can do just about anything you put your mind to, because there's very few things that's mentally as challenging. Even the responsibility that it takes. One person mess up, everybody runs. One person doesn't touch the line, you start over. You start your punishment over. You start your sprints over. It's just such a high level of accountability to where something as simple as this is not very frustrating or difficult nor challenging. And understanding that you can do your job and something still not go right, especially in the sport like football, where it's I might have a crazy block, right? Or I might literally blow somebody up, but somebody else misses their block, and now it's a tackle for a loss. And now it's just okay, I did my job and we still took a loss. And it's kind of it's simple. It's similar to trading. You can do your job and still experience a loss. But what you do, you get up and you go to the next play. So, I feel like trading helped me, or football helped me tremendously, and just my attitude and my mindset. You know what I'm saying? And same way you kind of go 3 and out in football. You know, that's kind of my attitude in the markets. You know, I'll take 2-3 losses, I'm out. You know, and live to trade another day. So, you know, you're definitely making sense there, bro. I feel like there's definitely a correlation to, you know, us seeing a lot of former athletes experiencing a lot of success these days. And not saying you have to be an athlete to experience success. I just feel like, you know, just the leadership and, you know, being a team player, all this stuff, you know, the selflessness, you know, a lot of those things play a role, you know, when it comes to being successful.
I think it's more so that I really didn't play sports throughout high school, but I know it's just a discipline that you have to have is next level. All right. And there's actually another quote that I was reading the other day too, that had to talk about trading and your discipline and stuff like that. Right. It was something similar, right? I mean, but this quote goes by like this, right? It says trading is a lifestyle. Everything you do outside of it reflects back into your trading. If your lifestyle is chaotic, then that's exactly what you'll get in your trading. All right. So what you guys with sports, your guys' life, although it was kind of crazy, you guys had structure, discipline. All right. You guys had a whole system, a systematic approach as to what you guys wanted to do. And that's why it's correlating so well, right? Because if you guys are right now experiencing a chaotic life and you don't have no discipline, no structure, no type of anything in it, then your trading results are also going to show that as well. Right, so it's very important, guys, to make sure that you do get one with yourself, right? Fix up your life a little bit, you know what I'm saying? Especially if you want to take this thing seriously, because it's extremely, extremely hard to build, you know, something massive on a faulty foundation, and that's what most people are doing, right? Their own, you know, belief level is built off of a faulty foundation. So if your belief level is built on faulty foundation, you're definitely not going to get nowhere at all. All right, but I actually got a question for everybody on this call, right? All 4 of you guys, right? So I want all y'all to get ready to answer. And this is probably going to be powerful for everybody in the chat, and I'll finish it up too. But I got the question, right? If you could tell yourself one thing when you started trading, what would that one thing be? I'll start with Ray. We can start with you, Ray, since you're already going in.
I could tell myself one thing when I first started trading.
Yep.
Buy more Bitcoin. No, I'm just playing. No, but no, on a serious note, just doing the self work, and you know, I know that's a vague answer, so I'll elaborate, but not just focusing on yourself a little more. You know, I got into a cycle, and I'm just being transparent. I'm pretty sure there's 100+ people on here, and you know, it is what it is. I mean, this is behind me. But I spent a lot of time in my life, you know, especially y'all may know me as a former Chairman 25, right? And I spent a lot of my years, you know, seeking approval of people. And it's almost like I wasn't even trading for myself all the time. Like as much as I loved trading, it was a couple years that I was trading in order to attract people, right? And I felt like I started to plateau because I was making damn near $1,000 a day like 3-4 years ago. And I started to plateau when I started trading for the approval of others. So you got to ask yourself, do you trade so that way you can send a screenshot? Or do you trade so that way you can flex on the gram? Or do you trade so that way you can really take care of yourself and take care of your family, right? And, you know, I feel like me starting to not focus on myself as much caused me to plateau a bit. And, you know, for anybody on this call, I would tell you to just focus on yourself for a while and focus on one thing for a while, because that's where a lot of the growth happens. Like this past year, you know, I've been able to reach new heights in my trading, just due to the fact that I've been able to wake up every day, do the same thing uninterrupted, and, you know, just focus all my energy and channel my energy into what I want to do, because what you focus on grows. And that's 1000% fact. So if you understand the whole universal law of whatever you focus on will grow, you know, it's inevitable that you get the results you want. And I'll also say that you need to understand who you are as a person and what type of challenges you deal with that may be blocking you from attracting money. Because I'll be honest, like Abel was saying, And there is a lot of truth to this. Abel was saying that if your life is chaotic, you know, you may not be getting the results you're looking for, but you also have to analyze what it is about yourself, that why it is that you need this money. Do you come from lack? Do you come from, you know, a situation where you may have been in poverty or something? And then you kind of have to learn to let go of these emotions, because you subconsciously attract negative things into your life if you're trading from that same perspective. So, you know, it's kind of crazy how the markets work. But if you're trading from a perspective of, damn, I need this, you know, it's not going to work out in your favor. So I want you to try to tap into a flow state. And that's where skill meets opportunity. And this is where you know, a lot of gamers experience this. You know, you can sit on a computer for, you know, 6 hours, or, you know, PlayStation for 6 to 12 hours and not even notice or not even get tired. And this is kind of how you have to look at trading, where you can just tap into that zone where nothing else exists but, you know, your intentions, and, you know, you're just flowing in harmony with the market. And that's something that I felt like I was experiencing when I had the most results. And that's something I'm experiencing again. So you want to really let go and elevate your mindset, and tap into this state of flow, so that way you can you know, get where you want to get a lot faster. I can talk about this in depth. I know we got more speakers, but
That was powerful.
I'll just end with this. The beautiful thing about tapping into that flow state is that you experience something called like time distortion, if that makes sense. And what I mean by that is, you know, you could be trading for a year, but to you in your reality, it's going to feel like you just started yesterday. And then everybody's looking at you like, damn, how did you accomplish all of this? And in your mind, it feels like you just got started because you was having fun and you was fully submerged in it. Same way you was playing a video game for 12 hours a day and didn't notice, right? So you have to submerge yourself in the craft. And that way you can almost distort time in your favor. And that way you wake up, it's almost like you feel like an overnight success. But it's not an overnight success, because it still took you 12, 18 months, however long it took you to get there. But in your mind, it doesn't feel very long whatsoever. And you know, that's one thing that helped me as well. Like I kind of quit looking at the clock and quit putting my expectations on when I needed to be successful. And I just submerged myself in it, understanding that time is going to pass me by anyway. So I just woke up one day more successful than I was in the past, because I wasn't thinking about it as much. So, you know, I know that's kind of a lot to grasp or whatever, but that's all.
That was powerful. That was extremely powerful how you broke that down, for sure. All right, so same question, Devin, bro. Again, I appreciate you for being on here with us. But what's one thing, bro, that you would tell yourself 2-3 years ago when you started about this journey?
One thing that I would have told myself was, I think I just have to piggyback off of Ray. Like you have to find who you are as a person, and you have to really and truly ask yourself, okay, when I do actually start making, like how Abel was saying with the trades, like you have to, more importantly, like more important than the entry point, you have to find out your exit point. So you have to figure out what you want to do when this money actually gets withdrawn into your Cash App, into your bank account. You actually have to have a plan, right? And like now looking into the future, I have an autistic nephew, right? He's 6 years old, and there's not a lot of programs for autistic kids in my city. And that's what I want to do with the profits that I make. So I have a plan. I understand who I am as a person, because at the end of the day, I'm an emotional guy, right? And I don't care to show that, because society is so stereotypical now that the man can't show emotions. But I don't care to show my emotions, because I know who I am as a person. And I know that at the end of the day, I have a great heart. So trading has been able to allowed me to truly find out who I am as a person, and be able to make up plans for what I want to do. Like, honestly, if you can dream you can dream as big as you want at a job, right? Working, you know what I'm saying, as many hours as you do, but how big is that dream if you can't really make it into reality? Like now I'm sitting in the position that I literally prayed for at the beginning of trading, right? And I wanted it so bad that I wasn't disciplined. I was very inconsistent over time because I was trying to rush the process, not knowing that. I use the same analogy when I tell people about like, how is your trading journey going? I tell them, well, I graduated from college, right? It took me 4 years to graduate from college, right? I knew I could make it through college, but I didn't really truly think I was gonna start. I played defense, right? I'm only 5'6", right? 160 pounds right now, right? So I was a small dude out there, but I'm playing corner though. So I had to have a mentality and that confidence that I could lock up, I could smack, I could lay the wood on anybody there is. Right. So understanding that that came from my mentality from playing football, I knew I could do that in the market, knowing that my worst enemy is myself, not the opponent. So knowing that my worst enemy is myself, I can figure out where I'm going wrong with myself, because a lot of people don't take out the time to truly figure out who they are as a person, and it's not going to come overnight. You know what I'm saying? You have to be willing enough to go a few months of being so confused on what's really going on just to get that clarity. And I tell people too, like, I joined a fraternity when I was in college, right? I didn't plan on joining a fraternity when I was in college. I became president and vice president of that fraternity. So doing things that I know were going to come unexpectedly, but I knew I could handle it, also gave me the willpower that I understand that trading was going to take time, because I knew that those 4 years took time. So if I could spend 4 years in college, right, not doing anything with my bachelor's degree right now at all, but I'm sitting at the crib trading, making money off my laptop, making money off my phone. The biggest thing I would say is just be patient. There's no need to rush the process when there is endless opportunities every single day. Like, I know for a fact we've been watching this GU for the past, raise on the 1 minute, probably for the past half an hour. Knowing that if you knew how to like really submerge yourself into the information, you could have been what at the bottom? Snipe, being patient and understanding that you see something, but you are so overwhelmed with watching how everybody else is trading. And I want to say it was Ray about, do you want to trade for your family and do what's right, or do you want to just trade to showboat and be on Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat flexing? And that's one thing myself I had to get right, because that was me. I wasn't trading for myself. I wasn't trading so I can get my family out the situation that they're currently in right now. I wasn't trading to get myself out of the situation I'm in right now. I was trying to showboat and trying to show people, oh yeah, I'm making $1,000 a day. Not even knowing that what I'm doing is not good, because taking a screenshot and then posting it and then knowing damn well I'm going to go back into the market and trade, what am I actually doing? So we have more speakers, so that I just want to really leave it off with that, and just be disciplined, man. Just understand that it's gonna take time. There's no reason to rush it. There's no reason to, and I've blown a lot of accounts lately. You know what I'm saying? Well, not lately, but you know what I'm saying, in the previous months. And looking back on it, it wasn't worth trying to rush the process at all. Not one bit. We have great educators. We have great mentors sitting right here on this call. I'm sitting on a call with 4 goats right now that literally I've followed ever since I started trading. Stay tapped in, stay consistent, stay disciplined. And if anybody has questions, I understand that Ray, Abel, Kyle, and Skaggs are busy. They have families, you know what I'm saying? So, like, if y'all have any questions, like, don't hesitate to hit me up. I'm willing to answer and help out anybody. Like, there's already been a handful of people that have already reached out to me. I will give y'all any information that y'all want until I can't breathe anymore, because I understand what this can do, not only for myself, but others around me. Like, with this withdrawal I just got, I just bought my mom a few Christmas presents, and she's been complaining about her car because it's gonna take about $1,500 to get her car fixed, not knowing like what a lot of people don't understand, what she just went through in the past year of how, you know what I'm saying? Like, if y'all know, but like my mom just went through a lot in this past year to help, you know what I'm saying, to help out. And just because of that, I'm about to pay for her car to get fixed. She don't want me to pay for it to get fixed, but little does she know, when she brings that car in, I'm about to go down there and pay for it. So when she goes to pick it up, it's already paid for. There is no, oh no, what do you mean? It's already paid for.
Talk heavy. Let's go.
It's already paid for. That's the goal with this. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the end goal, is to help out other people in need. Because I know what this can do. I know what I can do. But now it's the time for me to really show people, like, oh, this is what he's been doing? Yeah, this is exactly what I've been doing. Y'all been talking down on this like it's not paying bills, like it's not getting people rich out here, like it's not paying people's mortgages off. Like, I always think back, and like, if I ever need some inspiration for real, I go back to DL Woods' video when he literally paid off his mom's crib from one single trade. He was like, yeah, man, come on, man. Like, all right, man, don't play with this, man. Like, for real. Like, as bad as you can see the light at the end of the tunnel, there's a lot of things within that tunnel that you currently have to go through in order to get to that light. So with that being said, man, I could be on here all day, but we got more great speakers, so I'm gonna just leave it on that, man. I appreciate y'all. Man. Let's get it, man.
Man, that's why I love that boy Devin, man. His energy is just next level. It's always been like that since day one, too. Right, but I definitely appreciate you, bro. Really just being transparent with everybody, man. And a big shout out to you for being able to do that for your moms. That really is says a lot about you, bro, and what you're doing this for. 100%, right? But family, again, let's go to the next guy, right? Kyle, my brother, Kyle. All right, how you feeling over there, young legend? Right, again, guys, just for a little context, right? Kyle started trading literally around 15 years old, right? He's literally only, I think he just turned 20, 21, some shit like that. Only 15 years old, right? So at 15 years old, Kyle, right? What is one thing that you could tell yourself at 15 again? I don't even know if there is anything, because at 15, you told yourself all the right things, right? You got yourself in the right circles, the right communities, but what is one thing that you tell yourself now with everything that you learned on trading and on this journey that you're about to go on? Or that you've been on, actually?
Yeah, no, for sure. You know, honestly, what I'll tell a lot of you guys is start a journal, right? You know, I did start, you know, when I was 15. You know, I am 19 now. And I'm about to be 20 actually in like 2 weeks. So, you know, honestly, I would tell you guys, I really missed out on a lot of journaling time, right? You know, all of my trades, right? It's crazy because, like, you know, it's now all starting to flash back a lot of the memories to me. But I know I could have gotten success, a lot more sooner. Like if I started documenting a lot more of my stuff earlier, I don't think I started doing that until maybe like 1 year after I started trading. So, you know, I went a whole year without taking pictures of my setups, right? Without, you know, documenting my trades and my emotions throughout my trades, and, you know, my blown accounts, why I blew them. You know, I would just refill them and, you know, start them back, right? And, you know, I urge you guys to start doing this, right? Start documenting every single trade on a 20 trade basis, right? And, you know, really like don't even think about the singular trades, right? Think about the 20 trade sets that you're trading in, and just see your profitability between 20 trades, right? Not just every singular one by one trade, and just document your results, and tweak small things. And I promise you guys, if you guys think of your account between a subset of 20 trades instead of a singular one by one trades, that's going to help you guys a lot more. And the only way for you guys to truly remember every singular subset of 20 trades, you're not going to remember all that in your head, right? You need to write, this stuff down, and you need to start documenting, and it's very simple too. You guys can do something like this, right? This is something that I urge you guys to start doing on a notebook, on a notepad, or even on a spreadsheet or something on your computer. Just something to have a visual, right? Because it's a proven fact that we forget 90% of the things that we do not write down, right? What if I were to ask you guys, what did you have for breakfast last Wednesday? Right? A lot of you guys wouldn't remember. And that's just human nature, right? You would have to write down a lot of the things that you would want to remember. So I would say, honestly, this is just the trade journal, right? Every single day, let's say you do take a trade. I'm not saying every single day you need to take a trade, but every trade you do take, you want to write down the day, the pair, whether you took a buy or sell. Honestly, a lot of this stuff, the majority of part that you want to make sure that you document is your lot size, your risk to reward, your confirmations, right? This is the most important part, because you're going to get to see, based off of, obviously, eventually this is going to be filled out with about 10, 20 trades. Obviously I said go for a subset of 20 trades. So when you get to 20 trades, you're going to see the risk to reward trade setups that you were taking. You were going to see the confirmations that you were taking, right? And you get to refine. You get to really see the ones that were winning. Damn, maybe I need to, really hone in on my 1-3s, my 1-5 risk to reward ratios, and stop going for these 1-10s, 1-20s, right? Or maybe it's the opposite, right? Maybe you're closing too early, and you're only closing 1-3, 1-5, and you should be holding a partial. And some of your trades have been going for that 1-10, 1-20 swing, right? Everybody has a different strategy, but this is something that can make almost any strategy work, as long as you're documenting and reviewing and getting feedback on your trades. This is more of just like a compound plan. Honestly, this is something I want you guys to also add to this, right? I don't know why it's not really on the same thing, but like, take a screenshot of this, right? Just like you would take a screenshot of this. My bad. Just like you would take a screenshot of this. This is very easy to write out. I mean, it's really just about 7 to 8 lines, and then you go ahead and do that. But honestly, I want you guys to also identify attitudes, right? Like, what are your feelings before you enter a trade? What are the feelings during the trade? What are honestly, you can kind of combine these three and make it into one box, because I don't really type, a full paragraph for feelings before the trade, feelings during the trade, and feeling after the trade. But you want to at least know what you were feeling before the trade. Sometimes I would write down like, okay, before the trade, I was, not really looking at the daily time frames. I was a little bit rushed. I was eating breakfast while I was marking up charts, so I really wasn't paying attention. Right, things like that. Right, these are normal things, normal errors in judgment that could have happened before the trade. During the trade, okay, maybe during the trade you were just staring at it. You kept moving your stop loss. You didn't really know where to put your stop loss. Or maybe there was really no feelings during the trade, which is kind of, for more experienced people. Let's say you just put on the trade and you just let it rock and you forgot about it, and you didn't really think about it until you went to check back later to see if your stop or target hit. And then feelings after the trade, just really track your emotions and track your trades. I mean, when it comes down to it, I'm not going to take too long on this topic, but tracking is everything, right? And also go out there and just broadcast, right? For all you guys that are trading, that have been trading, or maybe this is like your first year trading, whatever experience level you are with trading, I want you guys to understand that, you know, is like people are watching you every single day. So document your journey, right? Just like you're documenting it on paper and putting on your journals, document it to the world on social, right? This helped me a lot accountable too, because honestly, just knowing that people were watching me and knowing that people were just looking to see if I was serious or not about this, it made me take myself a lot more serious as well, because I was like, if it's not this, then what? And if it's not now, then when? I went all in with this, right? Even though you may have a job or something like that, right? That doesn't mean you can't be all in on entrepreneurship. That doesn't mean you can't be all in on your dreams. So, honestly, that's my answer. Just document everything. Document, because you're gonna look back 2 years from now, 3 years from now, and you're gonna wish you had documentation, receipts, pictures,
Yeah.
things like that.
I like that. Documentation really is crucial for sure throughout this journey, all right? But I want to just quick update before we go ahead and let the boy Skaggs answer the question, because I'm interested to see what Skaggs has to say about that for sure, right? But we're seeing massive pound strength right now, guys. So if you guys did end up taking a shot at that GU down at these lows, I mean, this thing is absolutely flying. GJ, I did not get my entry point. Literally missed by around 5 to 6 pips. I wanted to go a little bit lower, but this thing sniped below these little lows right here, these short-term equal lows, and this thing is just absolutely flying, right? So I'm not even in this position. It is what it is. Missed my entry, but I did want just to update you guys on those positions that we were looking at, because I think there was only mainly like, I think 2 real setups. I think, yeah, I think Kyle might have called out USD cat. I'm not sure, right? But I know these pounds were the ones that we were really, really keeping our eyes on. Ray with the GU. I was looking at the GJ, and yeah, unfortunately, I'm not in it, right? It missed my entry. I really wanted to see a little bit lower, right? But it is what it is. These things are absolutely flying, right? So let's go ahead and go to the next person, guys, and then I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it up with my own thoughts and opinions, right? So Skaggs, my brother, I appreciate you so much, but tell us, bro, what's one thing that you would tell yourself 8 years ago when you started, based off the knowledge that you have now?
Um, it's a good question, bro. It's a real good question. I'm probably not going to spend too much time. These other boys definitely went in. 2 things I would probably do would be, one, I would reduce my risk early on. Took me a while to make that adjustment. Took me about 3.5 years to make that adjustment. So I would definitely risk less, because every percent you lose, you have to make at least 2% to make it back. I mean, that's very basic math, basic way to look at it. But, if you lose 50% of your account, you have to make 100% gain on that new balance in order to recoup that. So again, reducing risk is probably the biggest advice. And then 2, which, probably goes against the standard grain here. But another thing that really helped me was having an existing cushion on investments. So like, if you don't already have a healthy portfolio of investments of like stock or crypto or something that you've been accumulating, I would probably say that's like your focus first, right? Is like using the charts to get into longer term investments first. Because it's a lot easier to trade when you have, a nice bag of investments on the side, right? Like, it's very easy for me to trade and be aggressive with smaller money, because I know my crypto portfolio that I've been building for the past 5-6 years, it is ultimately, my retirement. Like, if you think you're going to retire off your trading account, you're probably wrong. It's really your investment account that you're going to retire off of. So like, that would be like my 2 advice, words of advice to my past self, is like, go harder on investments early on, and then also reduce the risk in margin trading. Yeah, that's where I would kind of end up.
That's an interesting for sure outlook, and I agree 100%. I think a lot of us agree with that because we all come into this lane extremely excited to start making money because of however we got introduced or exposed to it, not realizing that starting off heavy is really only setting us back. We're losing out so much stuff that we could learn because we're just being so aggressive and we're hungry to try to come up. Especially if you like myself, where I don't come from a rich background, right? I was literally lower class, middle class, right? So when you don't have a upbringing that expose you to a lot of the finer things, and you find a skill set like trading that is being marketed as that thing that could get you that, yeah, there's a lot of speed that we have towards getting to the end goal, but that ultimately does hurt us in the long run, right? So I appreciate your answer. And the one thing that I'll say for me, guys, and I'm gonna keep it short and sweet, right? I think for me, I would have been more open to mentorship in the beginning earlier on, right? Because my whole first 2 years was me pretty much doing it by my damn self, right? Me trying to just go through baby pips to then YouTube to then all these other different, various, you know, um, platforms you could say that are teaching basic stuff, right? But if I would have just got a mentor, within that first year or so, I probably wouldn't have taken me as long as it did to actually start to see the consistency, right? I'm very transparent with my journey, right? I went 2-3 years, guys, with no results at all, but that's also because I was trying to do it all by myself, no help, no guidance, right? Back when I started, there was nobody on YouTube, providing this type of nuggets that you guys are getting from us right now. And if there was, it wasn't for Forex, right? It was mainly stock traders back in the day when I started 8 years ago that were on YouTube, even if they were on YouTube, right? So that's the biggest thing for me. It's just getting mentorship. Get that mentorship as soon as possible, right? Cut the learning curve in half, and it's gonna save you a lot of time and a lot of money and a lot of headaches more than anything, right? So that's just my thoughts and opinions on that for sure, right? But besides that, though, family, if anybody else has anything else they want to add on, definitely go ahead and unmute yourself. But if not, I'm just gonna go ahead and catch up on the chat, and then we'll be pretty much all set and good to go. All right, but let me see. GU, I did believe $1,400 day. Let's go, Edgar. Big shout out to you, man. Everybody, go ahead and drop some numbers, a letter, drop your favorite emoji. Go ahead and drop a congratulations in the chat for Edgar. For a $1,400 day. Let's go. I absolutely love it, man. Let's see thoughts on Nike chart. I'm not the one to look at stocks, right? But that's an interesting play because we really don't look at too many stocks at all over here on this channel. But it's not that we can't, because once you know how to trade, trading is a skill, right? I want you guys to understand this, guys. Trading is a skill itself, right? Once you know how to trade, you know how to trade, all right? That's correlated with every single financial market. So if you guys know how to do technical analysis in the Forex world, you know how to do technicals in the stock world, right? You know how to do technicals in all these other different, areas of trading, so, yeah, but I'm probably not going to get into the Nike today, but we could probably, consider doing more so a stock type of play sometime in the future. You never know. All right, but let's see. It'd be a good time to sell GJ. Yes, GJ could very well go ahead and fall off because it pretty much reached the area, guys. Like it literally went. It took. When did we start marking up this? Right, I was looking at this literally since this morning around 6 a.m. All right, it literally took from when I started looking at it at 6 a.m. all the way till 10 o'clock to finally get that move closer to that area, to then only taking about 15 to 20 pips, not 20 pips, right? 15 to 20 minutes to actually go from entry to take profit, right? Which is absolutely crazy. Like I was waiting all day, all morning for this, only for it to play out and literally smack TP in just 20 minutes, right? And unfortunately, I missed out on it. So it is possible, right? It is possible for the market now to start to get some selling pressure up in those areas.
Hey,
So we'll
Abel, I actually do have a sell marked up that I might possibly take a shot on if I can get a good reaction from this level.
Yeah, if you want to go ahead and just give a little outlook real quick, take the screen, and you'll be the last one to go ahead and break it down for sure.
Let me go ahead and share this real quick because we was talking about this earlier this morning. And I believe that this high right here is strong because how Skaggs was talking about this morning. If we go to the weekly, it's talking about how this is a weekly high. So, if I can get this to stay strong, I would definitely take this, but I want it to come back up to entry. So I'm looking at about 167 240, 250 actually, because I don't like one thing with me is I will do half and whole numbers. I've seen lately that has been really significant for me. Yeah, I'm might have missed it honestly, but yeah, I'm just gonna watch this play out.
Yeah. Nah, it's a good play. Like I said, we could very well start to see selling pressure come in for sure up at those levels.
Because it literally took off to 90 some pips.
That's what I'm saying, bro. I waited literally 3 hours for that setup, only for it to play out in
Right.
20 minutes.
Hey, and that's that right there. That's that. You will sit here and wait for this to play out for about 3 to 4 hours just to miss it. And you have to be totally cool with that and
Facts.
not chase this.
That's a fact. That's a fact. No, that's a great point, bro, because that is so true, right? Like, again, most of the time, guys, like most traders are literally sitting on their hands 70 to 80 to 90% of the time. Right, like literally, like trading is literally all about sitting on your hands until the right opportunity presents itself. You know, it's just today it didn't get to where I wanted to, and literally played out in just 20 minutes. So 4 hours of waiting, the trade completed in just 20 minutes of actual trading time, which is crazy. But that's trading for you, right? But without further ado, family, we do appreciate y'all. Thank you guys for rocking with us, Devin, bro. I appreciate you for jumping on with us as well, bro, and providing all the value. Definitely look forward. Family, would you guys appreciate Devin on more streams? Drop some sevens in the chat, right? Drop a 7 in the chat if you guys appreciated the boy Devin. And all the value. Like, he really came in, not with just the technicals, but mainly it was the mindset value that I really loved, you know, from what he was actually, you know, breaking down and stuff, right? And again, Devin is also not going to be the only one that we bring on, guys, right? So we are going to look forward to bringing a bunch of y'all on. Right, we want to bring a bunch of y'all on and be able to give you guys a platform and give you guys the opportunity to go ahead and, you know, provide value to the community as well. So look forward to that for sure. Right,
Appreciate y'all, family. For
Yeah.
real. Like, and my mindset is definitely more important than trading at the end of the day. So that's why I did come in here not really trying to give out a trade today, more so just letting y'all know and being transparent with y'all, because there's a lot of fake traders out here and they're not really transparent.
That's a
So
fact.
that's the best ability that I can do, at least for everybody who's been tapping in. So I definitely appreciate Kyle, Ray, Abel, Skaggs. I definitely appreciate you guys highly.
For sure. We appreciate you as well. But family, we appreciate you all. I love you guys. We'll be back. I'll be back tonight for Tokyo Asian session. I'm going to be back on Asian session this entire week. So I'll be seeing you guys later on tonight. I'll see if any of the guys want to jump on with me for sure. Just to give a little, pretty much just an update of what actually did happen for the rest of the day, right? But family, I appreciate y'all. I love you guys. We will be back tomorrow morning as a team, same time, same place, and we look forward to seeing you guys all then and there, right? But without further ado, we appreciate y'all. We love y'all, and we'll talk to you guys all a little bit later. Let's get it.